To clinch a playoff spot, first to 40 wins, first to 50 wins, first to 60 wins. Tonight, they're the first to reach the Final Four. The final score in Game 5, Boston 113, Cleveland 98.
Well, it's a Joe show. We've seen it. Nobody wants to be there. It's a big bad show tonight. Just can't take this damn parade. Who cares? Joe show. There's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Anyone who gets scared by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I have a tub of Joe Murray with you tonight. Full show, finally. A full show. We've had nights of 10 consecutive games interrupting us. And tonight, we'll spread our wings and we fly. Make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here. No, we are here until 11 o'clock tonight. Skaz is here, and we'll get into everything tonight. Patriots schedule came out. Of course, the Celtics take care of business last night, and the Bruins have a Game 6 tomorrow night. We know the time for that one. It will be 7 o'clock, pregame 6:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Big show. We're going to talk to Conor Ryan later on, get his thoughts on the Bruins and Brad Marchand's return. He commented today. Also going to have Chris Costa from the Card Vault Card Show, which will be at Fenway Park this week. Have him live in studio. We'll have some fun for all you hobbyists out there. You might want to jump into YouTube tonight because we're going to be cracking them open tonight so you can actually see it right there. And, of course, you can join the show at 617-779-0985. Of course, we mentioned YouTube. YouTube.com/985 The Sports Hub. Just go right in there. I already see about 20, 30 people already chatting in there already. But I wanted to start with the Celtics. They advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals for the third straight season. It's not time to stop and smell the roses. The reality is nobody is celebrating this one. Last night we paid them their dues, tipped our cap, and moved on. And still a lot of critics out there. It's now 6 of their last 8 Eastern Conference Finals. It shows that they can compete, shows that they're in it every year. But yeah, probably shouldn't be celebrated. I think these are the boxes that they wanted to check early on this year. And we'll take you back from last year into this season when it comes to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But here's the reality of it. I sit where some people would call the kids' table. What I mean by that is I have, since day one, have thought that the Boston Celtics were the best team in the NBA and could win playing their style of basketball, which some would call a front-running style. You can bring up the numbers. You can be critical. You can bring up the late game adjustments. You can bring up the star players having the basketball in their hand. And you can just talk about how they are in clutch games. Or even if they've played in clutch games. You can talk about their foul shooting, turnovers, the ISO basketball, the numbers, all of that. Whatever you think, you're probably right. But what is also right is the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. And the way that they play basketball, they win at an 80% clip in the playoffs and 78% during the regular season. The reality is no one's celebrating them right now. You know, losing 4 times and making it to the finals once is the reputation for the Boston Celtics. Losing close games, playing down to their opponent. It's on their resume. It's a part of it. Brown and Tatum getting to the finals is also part of their resume. Again, I'm on record saying they can't do it themselves. They can get there themselves. They can't do it themselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. They need a third person to carry their weight and to help them. And I'm fine with that. Al Horford, big night last night. 38-year-old, 22 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. He struggled all series long. Right? He put up 19 points over the previous 3 games combined before that. He shot 14% from the field in game 3. He looked old. Helped close it out last night. Big part of helping out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who had somewhat of a slow night. You know, some people were wondering if the workload with Kristaps Porzingis being out, averaging about 25 minutes a game, 31 against Cleveland. You know, could they actually ride this guy with Porzingis out? Horford's now playing in his 16th postseason, still looking for that ring. He now heads to his 5th Eastern Conference Finals for the Celtics, hoping this is the year. Tatum and Brown did what was expected and what they were supposed to do. The critics are out there. Some are even bored of the Boston Celtics getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Their next opponent, they will be tested. Some will say it's an easy path. The truth is, they were the best team in the league this year and deserve that easy path. It's them against the world right now. It's all Celtics fans sitting at the kids' table while everybody else tells you what they can't do well. And I've been telling you all year long, they can play this style of basketball, make it to the finals, and win the finals. It's not pretty. Sometimes it is ISO basketball. Sometimes they don't make the extra pass. Sometimes they make dumb turnovers. It's all true. Everything that you people say is true at the big table. But at the kids' table, they're the best team in the league. I'm riding it, baby. I'm riding it. They are the best team. They'll have a tough challenge. New York can play defense, and the Pacers have a 3-headed monster and guys who have won before. That's exactly what Tatum and Brown are trying to do themselves. Check another box. Check another box. But I will say this. As it goes for Tatum and Brown, I'm telling you, I'm at the kids' table. They're still at the kids' table too. And quite frankly, they'll be there until they win a championship. So I'm riding them. I have pulled a chair up to the kids' table, and I am riding the Celtics through the Eastern Conference Finals into the NBA Finals. I think it's going to be hard to beat them 4 times in a series the rest of the way. And I do want to get into more of Tatum and Brown. It's true. They are sitting at the kids' table. It's time for them to sit with the adults and win a championship. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I do want to get into Tatum and Brown. I know Kenny Smith and Draymond Green had some comments. We got into those last night. But we'll get into the Celtics. We'll also get into Game 6, which is tomorrow night as well on the Patriots schedule. Skaz is here. I'm Joe Murray. We're with you guys until 11 o'clock. Full show tonight here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to
make 6 times in the last 8 years for this team, Kenny?
Well, the two guys, at some point people were saying they couldn't play together, but they're the winningest duo probably in the last 5 years in NBA basketball. So they figured it out. They continue to win. Now they have to win the big one and get to the finals and win it all. But they've done everything except that. In those two guys' tenure together and adding pieces to it. And this is their best opportunity because of the talent around them.
Kenny said they're the winningest duo over the last 5 years in basketball. And that's true. No one cares. Because they're at
No one
that
cares?
point. No one cares at all. They're at that point now to where you need to win a championship. Getting to the conference finals every year don't matter anymore. And how you know that they're at that point, because that's actually affecting Jason Tatum in MVP voting the last couple of years, because no one wants to see you win every year in the regular season, get to the conference finals, and then not finish the job. So this is good. Obviously, it's a step on the way, but no one cares that they're going back to the Eastern Conference Finals again.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Full show tonight. We got your in or out. We got the musings. I got a good one. I always do. We're going to talk a ton of Bruins. We got the Patriots schedule. I wrote an article on 98.5thesportshub.com. I give you the look-ahead lines. So these are the lines that are set now, and then they could change before before kickoff. Skaz is here as well, and that sound that you heard was Kenny Smith and Draymond Green last night on the TNT broadcast. We did postgame. People weren't happy with that commentary. I'll be honest, I kind of liked it. I don't think Draymond said anything wrong. I think Kenny said, yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to do. The only thing I will say about the comment, though, is the Celtics really are in, they have to win it all. And I know, Joe, they have to win it. I don't think there's anything right, wrong they can do besides win. For the people that are out there saying, late in games, they still struggle, their coach, all those things are true. What is also true is Jason Tatum has been the best player on the floor at times. Jaylen Brown may have been the best player in the previous series. Today I heard this one. What have the Celtics shown you through 2 playoff series that anything has changed with this team, or what have they shown you in general? I mean, they did win a closeout game on the road. They went 7-0, holding teams under 100 points. They found multiple third scorers. Derek White, Al Horford, Drew Holiday. Again, 7-0 when holding teams under 100 points this year. I think winning on the road and doing what you're supposed to do, yeah, it is not a time to stop and smell the roses. This team, this was part of checking the boxes. But they have shown that they can win by double digits and still make mistakes. They have shown that they can win with this front-running mentality. And here's the other thing that I'll just tell you flat out. They're shooting less threes. They're shooting at least 10 less threes a game than they did during the regular season. They're playing more defense. They're taking less threes. So what have they shown us? That they can change the way they play. Here's another thing. They've been winning without Kristaps Porzingis. When Porzingis is in, it's a different game. When he's not on the court, they do play more ISO defense, ISO offense. And defensively, they do struggle on the pick and roll. All those things are true. Everything that the people say about the Celtics are true. What is also true is they've been able to win. They've been able to win by double digits. They've been able to keep opponents under 100 points. And yes, you can look at who they played. Well, they got Miami without Jimmy Butler. They got Cleveland without Donovan Mitchell. This was where they were supposed to be. See, the Celtics in this playoffs have done things that other teams haven't been able to do. Like Jokic went down 2-0. Granted, they can come back and win 4 straight, and that's great. People expect them to do that. People thought they were going to get swept by Minnesota. Right? The Mavs could have blown the series open, except they blew a game. What the Celtics did was, when they needed to close out games at home, they did. So when someone asks you, what have the Celtics shown you over 2 previous series? They can close out games at home. That's impressive to me. That's different to me. Not like the teams of the past. So again, I'm not going to stop and sniff the roses and smell the roses. I'm still at the kids' table thinking that they can play this style and win the championship. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Brown and Tatum, going back to this past offseason, we know that Jaylen Brown played awful in the game that Jason Tatum got hurt in Game 7 at home. During the offseason, they went out of their way to meet up at certain times. They exchanged sneakers. They met each other while vacationing. They've really tried to bond and have a relationship. Some people say that they don't. The Jays have reached the conference finals 71% of the time that they played together. It's a collective effort, no doubt about it. They've had 3 different head coaches, right? They played along multiple different teammates. They've had many different challenges. Despite all those things, they're still here in the Eastern Conference with a chance to beat, they're going to be favored. They're going to beat one of these opponents, I assume, and then go to the finals. They've been there before. They lost. They lost to a historic Warriors team that they had against the ropes. So again, in their defense, they've done well. Like Jaylen Brown's 6th conference finals appearance, second only to Magic Johnson. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be. But what these two have done together, they're now at a point. They're now at the age, right? Everything is now turning up green. This is the year to do it. You talk about all the stars, they do it at this age. Tatum and Brown. So, as they await the Knicks and Pacers series winner, I appreciate this team. I do. I like the fact that they closed out series at home, something they couldn't have done a year ago. Scass, any thoughts? I'm at the kids' table. I'm over here thinking, and I'm proclaiming that they're going to win the championship this year. So, we have to do shows after a game. We react to the games. I thought last night's game, they got a little bit of production from the bench. But nobody said anything about Jaylen Brown's night last night of 11 points and 7 assists. Imagine if that was Jason Tatum last night. There is a critical component to Jason Tatum's game to everybody else's. So that's why I'm trying to lump them together, Tatum and Brown. But I think they checked all their boxes and probably on their way to a NBA Finals. But I am curious in the matchup of a Tom Thibodeau or potentially what the Pacers can do.
Yeah, I don't think Draymond said anything outlandish, which might be a first, but the Celtics are in title or bust stage. That's where they're at. When you're as successful and as good as they've been the last couple of years, you have to start winning titles. These guys are entering their primes. They've shown they can get there. They've been to the finals. They've been to the Eastern Conference Finals a bunch of times, as we know. And now it's time to win. I think, Knicks or Pacers, I'd be shocked if it's, I'd honestly be shocked if it's, 6 games. That's how much better I think the Celtics are than those teams with or without Porzingis. So yeah, it's time for them to win a title, and the pressure is on Tatum and Brown, and rightfully so. They deserve that pressure. They've earned that pressure for being so good. Now it's time for them to finally do it. So yeah, Tibbs, Carlisle, it doesn't matter to me.
Is there anything you learned in the 2 rounds that are different, that the Celtics are a different team than years past?
I think so. I think the White Holiday. So you had White before, but White with Holiday
defensively,
they didn't have that. The ball movement is much better without Smart. And Tatum and Brown seem to trust their role players more than they have in the past. Like Tatum took 3 threes last night. He didn't have his best shooting night, but I think he took 3 3-pointers last night. That's progress. That's him trusting the guys around him. Horford had a big night. You're not going to have to rely on that every night. If Porzingis is healthy, he's going to be that second, third option, even the first option at times. So I think the efficiency and the development of the trust Jaylen and Brown have with the guys around him, I don't blame them for not trusting the cast around them they had some years. I mean, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals with Tristan Thompson, and we saw Marcus Morris last
People
night.
don't like that with those guys, because if you say, oh, they got to trust their... I've openly said they need their third scorer. They need another... They can get them there. Tatum and Brown can get them there. So, like, here we are talking about third scorers. We're saying that it's truly important, and in the past, who do they lean on? Marcus Smart? I guess that was a shot at Marcus Smart, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at the Nuggets. Like, Jokic can go off, but he still needs Gordon to play well. He still needs Murray to play well. Like, the first 2 games of that series they lost, Murray was abysmal. He was terrible. Whether fans want to hear it or not, it can't be all Tatum and Brown. Can they win some games and get them over the hump? Yes, and I expect to see that in the Eastern Conference Finals. But to win a title, guys like Brown and Holiday and White are going to have to step up.
And we'll find out what the status of Kristaps Porzingis is, who has been shooting around, walking around, and maybe he'll be ready to go. Let's talk to Greg. He's in the car. What's going on, Greg? You're on the Sports Hub.
Hey, Joe, can I have a seat at the kids' table?
Yes, sir. Yep, come on,
Pass
right
the
up.
green bean
Pizza,
casserole, baby.
green bean. We got pizza. We got hoodsies waiting as well. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is rotten. Listen, everything you guys said, absolutely true. Couple of concerns. I want Tatum. The teeth that I saw him show last night, maybe it's a sign. He needs to toughen up. He needs to get, maybe smacked in the mouth a little bit. I like seeing the energy, but I'm a little bit concerned. He's got 10 texts now. We got worst case scenario, 14 games to go. I do not want this guy to get a game misconduct for too many texts after 15.
That's an interesting
and same with Porzingis. He's got a boatload too. But with all that being said, I think they can do it. I'm a little concerned about the Knicks, but you know what? If they don't go into the third quarter lull or the last 2-minute quicksand, they'll win the whole thing.
There you go. And I think even if they do, they're going to be hard to beat 4 times in a series. Matt's in Worcester. Hey, Matt.
Hey, what's up, Murray?
How you doing?
All right. So I just want to say, too, piggybacking off that is that Tatum did get mad last night. That was nice to see. He got mad at the refs, though. I just want to say he didn't get mad at the guy who hit him when he got hammered before he got the tech. He got mad at the refs. I just want to see him get mad at the other team. The thing you said about 71% getting to the Eastern Conference Finals is all good. It's great, gives us something to root for a little longer in the season. But if he keeps going like this, it's Tatum's team. He's going to be Jim Kelly of basketball. He's going to be known for losing. They're deeper than ever. If they don't do it this year, I doubt. I mean, this is it. They got to do it.
And Matt, I agree with you, man. Listen, there's teams that have gone to 6 out of 8, and I believe if the Celtics don't win this year, they'll be the only team to do it in sports, any sport. Be the first team to do it and not win a championship. That's what we would call losers. Around here, we would. Like how many times did the Colts got there before they finally won one? There's a lot of teams that got there. And, I'm just going Eastern Conference. Like the Eagles, that's probably a good one. When they went to 4 straight NFC championship games with Donovan McNabb. Like, those were good teams, well coached, right? I mean, that coach, in the long run, looks like one of the best of all time. But look what he did with the quarterback he had.
Also, to that caller's point, the technicals reset in the playoffs.
In the playoffs? Okay, so next round they reset?
No. Like at the start of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. Well, then that means Luka would have already been – a bunch of these other guys would have already been – how does that work,
So
though?
it's 16 in the regular season, I believe, and it's 7 in the playoffs. So if you get 7 technicals in the playoffs, then I think you get a game.
So I
think that was Tatum's first technical this playoffs. I could be wrong, but I think it was his first or second. So that is not something I would be worried about.
I don't want to I don't want this to sound like I'm backing Tatum for getting the technical. He complains to the officials often. Like, that's no joke. They also were trying to have him hurry up the ball the other night. If you remember, they almost had that backcourt violation. But just Tony Brothers was awful last night. He still shouldn't do it. Still shouldn't do it. I would like for him not to complain at times. That's something that I think they've been doing their whole career. So if you want to be critical about that, fine. Last night, though, Tony Brothers, he sucked. By the way, they called that a foul on him. That's why I think Tatum was like, are you kidding me? Anyways. All right, we got Celtics on the board. You guys want to continue the Celtics conversation? We can. Figured because we haven't really been able to do full shows, why don't we get into a little bit of everything? The Patriots schedule came out. Everyone's making a big hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo, the schedule. I'm yawning. I see Skaz yawning back there as well. Big yawn. But you know what? I get the betting odds, and that's what we only care about. We'll do that coming up after the headlines. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right. Brad Marchand was back at practice today for the Bruins as they get ready for Game 6. All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Here until 11 o'clock tonight. Full show. We've had 10 consecutive days of games. I love working the games. We come in, we work the games, we're locked in, we do post-game till midnight. It's great. First people to give the analysis after a win or a loss. Love it. Also love having a full show tonight, getting back in the groove of things. Wanted to bring up the Patriots' 2024 schedule has been released. So everybody's talking about whether it's a primetime game or going internationally or any of that stuff. I'm looking at what are the betting lines? I do this every year. When the schedule comes out, I go right to what the look-ahead betting line is. This is what odds makers make the bet based off today. What they project the over-under to be as well. So right now, the Patriots over-under is 4.5 for win total this year. It's juiced at minus 170 to go over. You can get it at 5.5 or 5 at some places, but not pay as much of a juice or vig. So, personally, 4.5, 4 to 5 wins is, I think, where they are. So we know the schedule. And odds makers do not think highly of this year's Patriots. Already mentioned the win total, tied with the Carolina Panthers for worst in the NFL. The two teams share something else. Neither will be favored in any game this season, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. Patriots will play one primetime game versus the Jets. They'll take on the Jaguars in London. They won't have a bye following the trip overseas. They will have matchups with the NFC West, Arizona, Rams, 49ers, and their home opener this year will be versus Seattle. So here are the projected look-ahead lines for the Patriots. Week 1, Bengals. They're plus 8.5, total 43. Week 2, the home opener, Seattle, plus 2.5. Week 3, the Jets, plus 7.5, total 42. 49ers, they're at 11.5 point underdog. Versus Miami at home, plus 3.5. On the road at the Texans. Taking on the Texans, plus 4. In London, Jaguars, 6 point underdogs. The Jets again, plus 3.5. Titans, plus 2.5. Bears, 4.5. Rams, plus 4. Dolphins, plus 6.5. Colts, plus 2. Arizona, plus 3. Bills, plus 7.5. Chargers, 2.5. And then they end the season, plus 3.5. I can never remember a schedule in my lifetime where they have not been favored in one game. Last year, they were favored in 4 games. I believe they won 5 last year, guys. Patriots win 5? I can't even remember anymore. They suck so bad. Like, the Patriots are going to be bad. Very bad. Now, could they be lucrative? They won 4 games last year. I give them credit. Can't be giving them extra games. Not a good schedule, everybody. Not an easy schedule. They're flying a ton of miles. So this is what Vegas thinks of the Patriots now. After their off season, after even drafting Drake May, and there are odds on Drake May. When it comes to who will be the starting quarterback, there are odds. The Patriots selected Drake May 3rd overall. And the odds to be the starter in week 1 are plus 150. The team is happy with May learning behind free agent signing Jacoby Brissett. Signed a 1-year, $8 million deal. He is minus 200 to start this year per DraftKings Sportsbook. So pretty favorable. Jacoby Brissett should be the starter week 1. Plus 150, though? I kind of like those odds. Wish they were a little higher, but I don't think the Patriots are going to start Drake May week 1, but you know what? Plus 150? Why not? 617-779-0985. We're talking about the Celtics as well. We'll get into the Bruins in a little bit. Let's get back to the phones. We'll talk to Greg. He's in New Hampshire. What's up, Greg?
Hey, guys. Hey, I think Draymond Green's comments were really spot on. If anybody else at the table had said those, we just say yep and move on. But, Mr. Is Mr. not liked in this area, in most areas, his own doing. So we kind of say, what's this all about? But really, they're valid comments. We don't need any more regular season champions. We're not Tampa Bay. And another point he made was Al Horford being exposed on defense a lot. And Tatum kind of shrugged it off, but really it's something that, Missoula really does need to look at, when Al's in there, which is right now a lot.
Did you watch Al last
night? Lastly,
did you watch Al last night defensively?
Oh, yeah, but
you thought
and the pick and roll, it seemed like they got him
you thought he was bad last night? You thought he was bad last night?
Not overall. He made some great blocks, and he made some good stops.
Did you think he was bad last night?
Overall, no. But there was a few times that I felt that, it was like, wow, Al's looked kind of old there.
Do you know who he was covering last night?
Well, it was all the switches they were doing, which, that's just part of the game.
He was a main defender on Garland for the most part last night.
Right.
Garland had 11 points and shot 4 of 17.
Oh, yeah. He did a great job on him. I'm just saying on the pick and rolls, and when he had the switch, there was a couple times where he kind of looked a little bit old, whatever. But overall, obviously, I'd take him over most of the guys out there.
Thanks, Greg. I thought Horford shut down Garland last night. Just want to make sure we're all watching the same games, I mean, has Horford been a putrid shooter this playoff? No doubt. But does he suck on defense? Has he really sucked? Come on.
No, he's gotten in trouble a couple times when they pull him out, when Garland pulls him out and tries to blow by him. But, I mean, what are we doing? He had 3 blocks last night. He had 15 rebounds. Like, is that not good?
I don't think they're bad on the pick and roll. I feel like they have no rim protection. Like, the night they got 60 points in the paint, Tatum was your big. Like, Kristaps Porzingis, I probably should mention this, is one of the top pick and roll defenders in the league. So if he becomes available, no more worries. 617-779-0985. We're touching on everything here in the first hour because I know that big Bruins game tomorrow night. I just wanted to put a hypothetical out there when it comes to the Bruins. Thinking ahead a little bit here when it comes to the Beast. Regarding Jeremy Swayman, we'll get into that coming up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
I'm Joe Murray. We have done a ton tonight. Celtics, did a little Patriots schedule. Bruins play that Sweeney was trying to bridge the gap with a contract extension. Elliot Friedman began discussing an extension with Jeremy Swayman. He's on a 1-year contract, 25-year-old netminder, currently expected to hit free agency. So when you think about the long-term deal with him, he got 3.475. You would think that would double, right? You would think that would have to double. He had a really good year last year, 19-6. Went over 20 wins this year because I bet it and I won. So with Ullmark probably going out in trade, Swayman's the guy. He's the guy. I think Swayman's going to get like a $7 million over 7 years. Is that too much? I don't think so. But just looking ahead a little bit here, 7 years, $7 million to have a goaltender here that you know who can be the leader on the team and quite frankly can play every game in a playoff series. Sign him up. But there's no doubt about it. Whatever happens in Game 6 or Game 7 or whatever, Jeremy Swayman is getting paid this offseason. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. We'll take one more call before we hit the top of the hour. We got Andrew in North Carolina. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Joe. First-time caller and lived in New Hampshire and Massachusetts for 13 years before moving down here. That caller about Al Horford, are you kidding me? Like, you can tell the stats way better than I can, but he won us the game, and he is a solid player for us. Yes, is he getting older? 100%. But is he still, like, a complete major part of this team? 100%. And I just couldn't even understand that guy who called.
On a pick and roll, he's going up against, one of the better ball handlers on the team. Might have got beat a couple of times. I just, if I was going to get on Al Horford, I'd get on him for missing wide open shots, not for his defense.
Yeah, I agree. But he, they fed him the ball to get him to heat up again, and he just started knocking down threes. And his defense was amazing, and we need it. And I think he's an amazing part of this team.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Yeah, we'll get into more on the Celtics coming up throughout the show tonight. Someone just said, hey, $7 million a year for a goaltender, that's nothing these days. So I had to look it up. I mean, Bobrovsky gets $10 million. Vasilevsky, is he in that? Hellebuyck, is he in that conversation yet? I would say maybe just under Sorokin. More than Binnington. That's where I'd put Swayman. $7 million. Will he take $7 million? I don't know now. Price is only going up. We'll get into Game 6 tomorrow night, which will be right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And they may see a familiar face back in the lineup. We'll tell you who that is coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
WBCFM HD1 from the Town Fair Tire Studios, the home of the Patriots, the Celts, the Revs, and the Bruins. Boston's home for sports is 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines.
Oh, hey. NBA scores tonight. 8:30, Denver and Minnesota will square off. Denver leads 3-2 in the series. Tomorrow night, though, still awaiting the winner of the Pacers and New York Knicks. Whoever wins that one, that will be the Celtics opponent. NHL playoffs, Rangers trail Carolina 1-0 right now. Rangers trying to close it out tonight, up 3-2. Vancouver and Edmonton tied at 2. They meet later on tonight at 10 p.m. Of course, Bruins will be in action tomorrow. Game 6 against Florida. Rays and Red Sox in action over at Fenway Park. Third inning right now. Rafael Devers, a solo home run. How many solo home runs has this team hit this year? It's annoying. And David Andrews signed an extension with the Patriots. He's going to get $8 million fully guaranteed, while Xander Schauffele, well, he did really, really good today. Headlines, they are brought to you by Emmanuel College, located at the prime intersection of business, science, medicine, technology, and more. Welcome to the heart of Boston in the Fenway neighborhood. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update in 30 minutes.
This is Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown turns the corner. Finger roll is up and good. Score to the foul.
Listen to home of the Boston Celtics, 98.5, the Sports Hub.
Bruins with an outlet through the middle. Coyle sidesteps the check to Frederick. In flight over the line right side. Right circle. Drops Coyle. Back into the slot. McAvoy shoots. He scores! Charlie McAvoy sizzles it home. His first in the playoffs. Bruins 2, Panthers 1.
We're going to break this down in a second, Judd, but Bobrovsky wants goalie interference, and the Florida Panthers are looking at it right now on the bench that Bobrovsky got taken out before. I don't think so, but we'd have to look at it again. He's well outside his blue paint. When this happens, there's no goalie interference.
After review, there's no goaltender interference. We have a goal.
All right, that was the call from Judd Surratt and Bob Beers. Bees win the other night, extending the series, heading back to Boston on tomorrow night, Friday night, 7 o'clock is the puck drop. So now what do the Bees do? They've won. They're getting the goaltending. They got the secondary scoring that they needed, and their star, finally one of their stars, Charlie McAvoy, lit the lamp. And they were without Brad Marchand, who missed the last 2 games after being sucker punched by Sam Bennett in Game 3. Marchand met with the media after practice today, which is the first thing he was at practice, so we should say that. And just while we're at it, we brought this up last night, and I'm probably only bringing this up because of last year with Patrice Bergeron. When he came back to the lineup, he wasn't right. They lost every game he returned in. I threw out there, if Marchand's ready to go, do you want him out there? I think you have to put him out there. But I only have the reservation because of last year. That's it. It's got nothing to do with him and his ability or anything like that. So it looks like Marchand, back at practice today, should be ready to go in Game 6, and I don't know who you take out. I don't know what you're going to do with that one. I don't care. They'll figure it out. I do like the deep pairing, though. Wotherspoon back there, low rye with McAvoy, Lindholm, and Carl. I like all that with Peak. I like that unit. That's what I want to go with again. They haven't used Shattenkirk yet. If they did, I wouldn't be surprised if they went with a little bit of leadership. But I like what I see back there. As for Marchand, he spoke to the media today. His first public comments since the old controversial play, he said it was a cheap shot. Let's hear a little bit from Brad Marchand after practice today.
Do you think it was a cheap shot?
I think that it was. He plays hard. You know, he's an extremely physical player, great player for the group. I think he got away with a shot, but you know, I'm not going to complain. I mean, it happens, and you know, that's part of especially playoff hockey. You know, I've been on the other side of a lot of plays, and you know, I think he got away with one, but I mean that's part of the game, and definitely part of playoff hockey. You know, yeah, it sucks to be on the other side of it, but you know, that stuff happens. You know, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. That's part of the game, but yeah, I think he got away with one, but it is what it is.
Didn't mind it. He came out, spoke about it. Fine. Marchand later on was asked if it's too late in the series to worry about revenge. We know that Bennett declined to fight Pat Maroon in one of the previous games. And they've gone after him a couple of times here. I don't know if we have anything back there, Skaz, on Marchand on any revenge, but he talks about it being part of the game. It's part of the playoffs. People don't want to say it, but part of the playoffs is trying to hurt the other player. Let's hear that one.
Is it too late in the game, too important to be thinking about any kind of revenge or kind of paying it back?
I mean, that's part of the game. I mean, it's part of playoffs. People don't want to say it, but part of playoffs is trying to hurt every player on the other team. And the more guys you take out, the more advantage your team has. And, people don't say that, but that's just a fact of the game. So every time you step on the ice, someone's trying to hurt someone. And that's just how it goes in playoffs. And any time you can get an advantage on a team, it's going to help your team win. And, that's part of the benefit of having a physical group. And that's why you see teams go the distance with big D core and physical teams. And it's why you rarely see teams that are small and skilled go far because, they get hurt. That's part of it.
I kind of like his response because this is a guy that's done this to other opponents in the past. Like, he knows what it's like. He knows what it's about. It's not woe is me. He knows both teams are competing hard. And he knows that this is part of winning a Stanley Cup, which is very hard to do. He went on to say later on, it's the hardest trophy to win. When you're playing, you're willing to sacrifice your body and hurt other guys and do whatever it takes to win. But Marchand seems to be excited for Game 6, getting back out on the ice. Mentions that this is what we play for. This is why we started playing hockey, etc. So he's enjoying the moment. He's grateful and hoping he can bring some motivation to his group. The practice lines today saw Marchand with Coyle and Frederick, Geeky Pasternak, DeBrusk, and then Zaka Brazeau, Heinen, Beecher, Maroon, Van Riemsdyk. So it looks like Laco might be the guy out with Boquist. And I'm going to watch Marchand. I'm curious how he responds. I'm sure if there is. I'd still wonder if there's any revenge. I think that's probably past them now. But Brad Marchand thinks Sam Bennett thinks he got away with one. The way the Bruins can win tomorrow night is continue to keep it low scoring. They can't have another 3. I'll even say 4. If Florida somehow scores 4 goals, I think they're in trouble. They got to keep it a low-scoring game. Try to capitalize on any power plays. They were pretty good on the kill recently. And can you continue to get production from Charlie McAvoy? Can one of Pasternak, Marchand, can Zaka give him something? Here's the deal with the Bees. They can play with Florida. I still think the Panthers are a better team. But I think you can break Bobrovsky. They've struggled getting shots on net. Coach Joe told you a while back, take more shots, score more goals. It's as easy as that. It really is as easy as that. But I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's the only way the Bruins win. And anything can happen in a Game 7. And just, I think the Bruins fans, they got one in round 1 against Toronto. Like, they got one. Winning in a Game 7, you got to be able to sleep at night. You rested with your little pillow. Could use one more, right? Could use one more to extend the series. Does Jeremy Swayman play better having one more extra day? The teams know each other. I think one is more skilled than the other. Bruins continue to hurt themselves on mistakes. But I think they can get at Bobrovsky. More shots, more goals, more games. We'll talk with Conor Ryan on the other side. He's from the Boston Globe and Boston.com. We'll get his thoughts on Marchand's return. Also, I guess we'll ask him about Swayman and his extension as well. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. Full show. We got in or out at the end of the hour, and then musings next hour. We're going to have Chris Costa from Card Vault and the Fenway Park Card Show in studio in about an hour from now as well. Skaz is here. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray.
So tonight, there's been 10 consecutive days of games, whether it's been the Celtics or the Bruins, nonstop. Well, I love it. We love it. Skaz loves it. But it's kind of good. It's pretty good to get a night to yourself, play the games, have a few guests. And joining us right now on the Volkswagen Dealers Expert Hotline, his name is Conor Ryan. He's got a great Boston accent, and he's over at Boston.com and the Globe. Conor, how you doing, man? How you feeling about Game 6?
I'm doing well, Joe. How I feel about Game 6? Wow. I mean, it sure feels like the script is a little bit flipped from last year, right, where Bruins had a 3-1 edge, and all of a sudden Panthers just get that one break in Game 5, and all of a sudden you have the momentum kind of shifted a little bit. Now, it's not saying that the Bruins are going to run away with it or anything like that, because, again, I don't think you saw Florida's best in Game 5. But you look at just how these series kind of play out and the momentum and how things change. It feels like the Bruins are, have that mindset and the mentality of, I'm not saying they're operating with house money or anything like that, right? Because you still have a chance to win this series, but all the pressure is on a Florida Panthers team that was favored going into it. But look at how the Bruins executed in Game 5, another great performance from Jeremy Swayman, and how the Bruins, I think, were able to get behind Florida's forecheck especially. Does give you some optimism that hopefully they can carry that into Game 6, which, again, it's at the Garden. Hasn't really worked out for the Bruins the last couple of years on home ice, but we'll see how it all plays out.
All right, can you tell me what Charlie McAvoy is doing? Because he's not hurt. Sweeney said he's not hurt. He looks beat up out there, don't get me wrong. And I think we're all hard on him, but when we ask everybody, they say he's doing a lot. He's doing so much. So besides just doing his job, being a defenseman and getting shots on net, which he finally did, what is he doing? What is he overcompensating and doing? And, is that really what's hindering his game, in your opinion?
I think the problem with Charlie McAvoy at times, and it's kind of similar you see with Brad Marchand's game when he's kind of pressing a little bit, trying to do a little bit too much. And again, when Charlie McAvoy is on his game, he is one of those rare defensemen that can obviously eat up a lot of minutes and kind of shift momentum with a big hit, but has the ability to contribute offensively, as was the case in Game 5. But I think when he tries to press and does too much, that's when he starts getting burned. And I think you usually see that defensively, whether it's he pinches up and leads to an odd man rush, he makes the poor read. I think for him it's all about kind of staying grounded in the moment. I think Game 5 was a great example. Obviously, he gets the goal, gets the assist, but he wasn't trying to do too much. He was playing, I think, a really simplified brand of hockey, even offensively, where, again, just getting the puck down low on Geeky's opening goal. DeBrusk's down there, leads to a chance. Florida's man-on-man kind of collapses there, and they're able to capitalize. And I think that's the biggest key with McAvoy. Like, when he's locked in, he can do a little bit of everything, but if he goes into every game thinking he needs to do that, I think that's when he tries to overcompensate, and that's when you have one of these D-zone lapses or him getting burned pushing up the ice. So I think for him, and just the team as a whole, it's all about just staying grounded and playing simplified hockey. That's kind of what Pat Maroon's message has been the last couple of times we've talked to him. That's what the Bruins need to do in Game 6 to bring the series back down to Florida.
This might not matter, but who's out if Brad Marchand is in Game 6?
Yeah, it's a tough call in terms of who exactly is the guy that probably slots out. You can make the case of maybe James Van Riemsdyk, who hasn't maybe contributed as much, even though he's still a bigger-bodied veteran player. Johnny Beecher had a pretty rough Game 5. He almost, set up Kyle Okposo for, I don't know if he thought Kyle Okposo was on the Bruins, what have you, but he had that awful D-zone pass that almost led to a grade A chance for Florida. So he had some issue moving the puck, one of the few guys that kind of did in Game 5. But that being said, are you going to take him out of the lineup when he's so good at faceoffs? Are you going to take out Pat Maroon, who you saw in Game 2, he leaves the game and all hell kind of breaks loose, right? So I think probably JVR is probably the guy that stands out the most. But it's a good problem to have, whether it's him, Heinen, who, again, is a guy that I think gets dragged a little bit in the playoffs. But even though he's maybe not contributing, I think Heinen makes those smart plays, the zone clears, all those things that I think you have to do, the details especially, to not get burned by this Florida team.
Before we get into the Marchand quotes from today, do you see any changes on the in defense? And what do you think about this Wotherspoon peak in Lowry and their performance in the previous game?
Yeah, I know Montgomery mentioned yesterday that he was looking at possibly adding Shattenkirk back into the mix. Maybe that gives the power play a bit of a boost, because that's been the biggest issue so far in this series. I think they're 1 for 14, I want to say, on the power play. And that's really limited them in terms of, pulling away from this Florida team. But if I'm Jim Montgomery and the Bruins, I don't mess with, your decor looking at how I think well they played in Game 5. You look at Lori makes kind of that poised between the legs pass out of the D zone that leads to Charlie McAvoy's goal. You look at, what Lori's faults are against puck pressure. You feel like this would be a series where he'd have a lot of trouble, and he really hasn't been burned yet. So I think you keep playing him and how confident he is. And then I think that third pairing of Weatherspoon and Peak has been pretty solid. I think Peak was pretty slow out of the gate, but I think Weatherspoon, especially on the penalty kill, he's not flashy. He maybe doesn't stand out a lot, but it's kind of like a right guard in football, right? If you watch his tape, the less you notice him, the better he's doing. And if Weatherspoon's just blocking shots, he's clearing pucks, I think he's doing what needs to be done to beat this Florida Panthers team.
All right, talking with Conor Ryan, Boston Globe and Boston.com. Did you happen to go down and talk to Marchand today?
Yes, I was in that gigantic scrum over a Warrior.
Did you feel weird at all trying to talk to him about cheap shots when this guy's been doing it for years in the NHL?
I mean, I give Marchand all the credit in terms of, I think the one thing he's always been a pretty straight shooter in the fact that he's admitted that he's been responsible for these plays as well. That's what he mentioned with pretty much giving Sam Bennett his flowers, right? Saying that he's a competitive player, a player that every NHL team would want on their roster come to playoffs. And he mentioned that, he's been on the other side of those plays quite a bit in his career, right? And so for him to, again, I think say the quiet part out loud, right, in terms of it's playoff hockey, and frankly, everyone's trying to injure everyone. You look at, even look at like the Bruins in 2011 where Aaron Rome takes out Nathan Horton. Like, it's, maybe you'll view that as barbaric, but Marchand's saying, like, that's part of the game. If you're trying to get an advantage over a team in a 7-game series, yeah, you're going to do whatever you can to take out the other team's captain or their best player. Like, we see it time and time again. Like, what Bennett did in that series is not an outlier from what we saw in many postseasons throughout the years. So,
let's get into Jeremy Swayman. I got a question for you about him in a minute here, but did he look tired to you? Because I didn't see that. Some people thought maybe he may have looked tired. This is the longest stretch he's ever gone. I think he's been the best Bruins player throughout the entire playoffs. But did you think he was tired, and what will this extra day of rest do for him?
Yeah, I think the extra day will be huge. And is he as sharp as maybe he was early on in that Toronto series? No, I think it's expected for there to be some lapses. And I think the one goal that the Florida Panthers scored in Game 5 was Reinhart, where Swayman probably should have gloved that early on, avoid that ozone face-off, and leads to a chance where Reinhart buries the rebound. Probably want that back. You look at like Lundell's short side goal in Game 4. There's been a few lapses here and there, but not anything at all that I think would take him away from the net. And I think what you saw from the Bruins and how they reacted after Game 5, it's not just the fact that I think Swayman's the best player on the ice when you just look at the stats and the saves and, that stop on Reinhart at the very end of Game 5. I think his competitiveness and his kind of poise out there is something that rubs off on the players. And McAvoy mentioned that, Coyle mentioned that. And I think when you're up against it in this series against a very dangerous Panthers team, having that kind of calming presence back there, I think can help you quite a bit as you're trying to kind of dig out of this hole. So is Swayman as sharp as he was early on? No, but you look at how he competed and fought in Game 5, you'll take that goalie any day of the week.
Speaking of that goalie any day of the week, he's going to be up for a new contract this offseason. What are the numbers? What are you projecting? And who knows, maybe if he can squeak out 2 more wins, what would you project the new Jeremy Swayman contract to be?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think you're probably looking at, $7 million at least, right? And you could probably make the case. You look at him and his agents and what they've mentioned about how much they did not enjoy arbitration last year. You could be asking for a whole lot more. And again, that will lead to some ramifications in terms of how they adjust the goalie situation moving forward. But I think regardless of how this postseason plays out, I think if you're the Bruins, you're trying to draw the silver linings. Don't want to get too far ahead of myself of saying the silver linings out of this season, but when you look at, what positives you can draw from it, whether it's, you have, I think, a number one in Swayman that you can build around and lock up long-term. You've got a guy like Lori who had his issues early on there and has made huge strides since then, has really, blossomed, I think, in this postseason. There's still a lot of positives to take out of, this run so far. And I think Swayman and his emergence as that proven number one guy is reassuring for the Bruins and should lead to, as you said, a pretty hefty payday for him in a couple of months.
All right, man. Who's won the coaching matchup so far in the series?
I would probably say right now it's been pretty much a stalemate. If you ask, people in terms of how Paul Maurice has the longer pressers and he likes to, I think, throw some barbs at the media and has maybe the juicier sound bites. Maurice has the better sound bites, and Montgomery is the one going viral for his reactions on the bench. But I don't know. I view like what Maurice in terms of how he kind of weaves things in. The one thing that after Game 4 with Montgomery, we didn't call out the refs, and I know that leads to fines, those things, but I don't know. You look in years past, every coach that calls out the refs, usually it leads to a little bit of a swing in terms of calls. And again, the Bruins power play hasn't been operating at a high level, but look at the Panthers, who were the second most penalized team in the NHL during the regular season. It's been a huge discrepancy in terms of who's actually getting these calls in this series against Boston. So I don't know. If I was Montgomery, I'd like to probably, make a few more mentions towards the officiating in that Game 4, but we'll see how it plays out moving forward.
Oh, I love the fish hook and the dive. I don't know if you saw.
It was great.
You see all the memes with him, like with the guitar in his hand. That's so cool.
It's perfect.
He it's funny when you think of Montgomery. I thought going into Game 7, he felt the pressure. Maybe he felt like if they lost, he'd get fired. And he was like, all right, well, if I'm going down, I'm bringing Pasta with me. And and Pasta performed. Is there someone that he could take down in the next 24 hours to get them going? McAvoy got going. Is it Pavel Zacha? There's going to be somebody who has to get going to keep the chances alive here for the Bees.
Yeah, I think it absolutely has to be Pavel Zacha. I think you saw when Charlie McAvoy has that breakout game in Game 5 how much of a difference maker it can be. And Zacha's a guy, and Montgomery was asked about it earlier today and mentioned that he's still, I think, leading all forwards in ice time. And listen, he's good defensively. He does those little things, but if you're a top 6 centerman like the Bruins have, put him in that spot all year, and in the regular season he performed in that role, you can't have a guy that key to your offense have 0 goals in 24 career postseason games. You just can't have it. So I don't know if maybe he says, Montgomery mentioned something after morning skate tomorrow, but if he's able to do something to motivate Zacha, that'd be a game changer if he's finally able to break through for the Bruins.
All right, man. So you think momentum's on their side?
Absolutely, yeah. I just look at the way that series played out last year, and Bruins, again, whether it's you got Marchand potentially coming back in Game 6 and the lift that provides, I think you just look at their strategy in Game 5, whether it's breaking the puck out against their forecheck, where do you make that simple, smart pass and avoid that pressure and stop kind of, sending the puck along the strong side boards there? You have a lot of real estate in front of you to generate some chances against Bobrovsky. So if the Bruins can replicate that and counter that forecheck Florida has, they will have chances to generate some good looks. And again, Bobrovsky made some key saves in Game 5, especially on some breakaway chances, but keep those chances going. Sooner or later, you're going to break against them. So again, is the series completely shifted? No, not yet, but I think the Bruins feel like they're in a good spot in terms of where the momentum is heading going into Game 6.
All right, it's Conor Ryan. Check him out, Boston.com, Boston Globe. We like you, Ryan. We like your accent, too. And, we have Ty, we have Matt, we have guys in the building, but sometimes we got to go off, so you're our guy outside of the building, all right?
Perfect. Happy to help.
All right, he's Conor Ryan. Go check out his work, and he'll be at the game tomorrow. And I appreciate you, Ryan. We'll catch up soon, bud.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, Conor Ryan, everybody. Momentum. Ooh, it felt like that was the Macho Man. Momentum on their side, brother. Ooh, yeah. I am not a Macho Man guy. There's another guy for that.
Where's Sean Silver?
Where is Sean Silver? That might have been the call. He knows about my moose call. Yeah, you know about mine yet? I used to do a moose call. No? I used to put the bat signal out every once in a while. I'd go... It's the old moose call back in the day. We used to have a certain caller that would call in with really just wild theories on aliens. And I couldn't stop listening to him. He came from the South Shore. He would call in with a gold star, and I would stop everything. Let him go. And one night I put out the moose call. I was with Sean Silver, and he called. I think I just did the moose call again. All right, we got to go to break. Who will the Celtics be playing? We'll get into that coming up on the other side after the headlines here. I'm Joe Murray.
Sports Hub headlines.
Hey, David Andrews is getting paid $8 million fully guaranteed to come back this season. I got a thought on that. Brad Marchand back in practice today. Looks like he'll be back in the lineup for Game 6 tomorrow night. All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Here tonight until 11 o'clock. We got in or out at the end of the hour. Next hour, we're going to have Chris Costa from Card Vault in the Card Vault Fenway Card Show. It's this weekend. So we're going to do something our YouTube page, and you can get the content and see us with all the nice graphics. But tonight, we're going to try something different. And we're going to have some fun with Chris in studio tonight. Within the hour or so. 617-779-0985. I just wanted to get into something real quick regarding David Andrews, and we'll look ahead to the next opponent for the Celtics. But just a quick take, because we have a loaded in or out tonight. We've been holding them, saving them, preserving them. So we want to get in on that. But I do have a quick take on one David Andrews, who, all right, let's just do it. I put out the Moose call, so let's do it. Scott Zolak on the line in Rentham. What's up, Zo?
What's going on, buddy?
How you
Did
doing?
you see the Vegas thing with the aliens? That family, totally normal family, called 911. They had 8-foot and 10-foot aliens. A spaceship crashed in their backyard, but it's on a cop cam video, and the police had calls to it too. So the cop didn't believe it until he saw it on the police cam video.
Yeah,
it's unreal, man.
They thought they were bogus first, right?
They thought it was bogus. They showed it like, wow, these are totally normal people.
They debunked it. Yep, they debunked it. The body cam, which, right, you can't deny it. That's literally what the cop said. You couldn't deny it. I saw this thing multiple times. I believed it when it happened. When they debunked it, I just thought it was, they're just trying to put out a fire. Nope, it's real. It happened.
No, it's not. It's not even like an internet game. It was all over all the Vegas news stations out there. It was like the lead story on the 6 o'clock news.
I mean, there can't only be one life form in the world, Zoe.
No, of course not. But you got Costa coming in later. Tell my boy I said what's up.
I will. Well, we have your card here. I'll let him. We'll value that throughout the night.
Nice. What are you doing tonight? Pumping Tatum's tires?
Yeah. What? Yeah. You know what though? I am. You know why? I sit at the kids' table, and I root for them because you know why? They are the best team, Zoe. You. Everything you say about them is true, but they're also the best team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like playing Tim Tebow when the Patriots went to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was like?
Well, kind of. I mean, they had their first, third, and fifth best players out last night.
So did it not count then? Did it not count?
I never said it counted.
I mean,
that's bad. That's bad.
The 96 Patriots, remember them?
Oh, yeah. I was sitting there when Jacksonville beat them.
There you go. Yeah. You got Jacksonville in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, yeah, I'm not mad. Matt said it doesn't count. It counts. I'll see you.
Thank you. Oh, you left real quick, so on that one. Oh. He didn't want to talk about the road? The path? I love that 96 team. Yes, and I don't think they make it to the Super Bowl that year if there wasn't the upset by the Jags. But I'll keep it to this year's Celtics team because they have gone there 5 times before and have only gotten past once. That's not good. Patriots got there many times. Devin in Florida. Hey, Devin.
Hey, I just want to ask you, obviously the Nuggets is like the best team in the West, but which of the other 3 teams scare you the most? I think that the Thunder is a really good matchup for us, but I want to get your opinion on the other 2.
Dallas. Kyrie. Yep, Skaz is already nodding his head.
Look at Kyrie's stat lines the last couple games.
I know. It's still Dallas. It's still Luka to me. That's it. It's all right. Listen, I understand Oklahoma City. I still think the Celtics beat them easily. Denver, tough matchup. But if we're looking at another team, to me, it's Dallas. How many times have they played Dallas and it's been a close game that comes to the end where Luka hits the big shot and Tatum didn't? Now, I know I'm bringing up old stuff.
You want to talk
about
it?
But it happened.
We mentioned it last night, a motivated Kristaps Porzingis against the Knicks. You don't think you'd get a motivated Kristaps Porzingis against Luka and the Mavs?
How about both?
The way things went down there. Yeah, exactly.
He'd be the right choice to make the move for.
They're not a good defensive team, and they're not deep. Dallas does not scare me.
Well, he asked too, I thought. Nobody scares me, Skaz. No. Nobody does.
Jokic should be the only thing that scares you.
I'm going to say it once again. I have been pumping up Tatum's tires. You know why? Because he can't do anything right. To me, he'll have 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, but he had bad fadeaway shots, or he looked tired and was off balance, or drove to the rim and then passed it out and had a turnover. Yep, all those things are true. Yep, Jaylen Brown struggles to go left. He misses free throws. He turns the ball over. They're true. So what is also true is they're the best team in the league. What's also true is they don't need Tatum to be the best player to win. That's a true. But all these things are true, which is why they have to win. So I'm going to sit at the kids' table with Tatum and Brown because I'm riding them, baby. We got a pizza party over here. We got hoodsies later. What else do kids eat these days? Warheads? We got them all. We got little shark bites, right? I'm at the kids' table. We're having fun.
With those like hugs, the little juices.
Yes, they were called teenies growing up. We got a kids' party going on here at the table. I'm riding them, baby. Yeah, they got issues, Joe. Oh, they stink of that. You know what? They're going to win anyways, despite it. But Tatum and Brown, they're at the kids' table until they win a championship, and I'm there with them, and Skaz is too, because I just brought them into it. All right, we got In or Out coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
I would imagine the general, NFL fan might not know that they literally have a show called The Detroiters.
Yep.
Which I would recommend to anybody.
Which I found out has been out for a while.
Yes,
But I've been telling everybody, you seen this new show?
It's great. It's the best.
In on schedule release videos, but some of them, all right, fine. Here's another thing, right? How old are you guys?
I am 30 years old.
Okay, good number. How often or how many times have you seen or can you relate to Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, I've seen Good Will Hunting a ton of times. One of my favorite movies. I've seen it a bunch. I think it's one of the best movies ever.
Okay, so you can relate to it. So when he says, I got a number, how do you like them apples? You get it.
Of course.
Or it's because of a girl,
He stole my line.
There you go. All right, never mind then. I was just trying to figure if the Patriots are trying to relate to people, is Good Will Hunting the way to go?
I think in this area, you're always going to win with Good Will Hunting.
Okay, fine.
I like the angle, though, looking for something.
I know what we should do one night. Summertime. Bookmark this one. In or out on Boston movies.
Yeah, it's a very... I would say it's very dependent on the movie, whether you're in or out on it. Maybe the accents in the movie have a lot to do with it as well.
Put it on the board, baby.
All right,
in or out.
We'll save that
Boston movies this summer.
All right, Joe. We'll head to the NBA for this one. The best player in the world, Nikola Jokic, has announced that he will be getting SpongeBob shoes. There will be a SpongeBob, a Mr. Krabs, a Patrick, and a Squidward shoe release. So, Joe, are you in or out on the Jokic SpongeBob shoes?
In. When the big boy wants SpongeBob, you go get SpongeBob.
I love that Jokic's two big things now are SpongeBob and Despicable Me. That's how this guy's being marketed.
Again, what do you know about Mike Trout? He hits Subways, sandwiches.
He's from New Jersey.
Jokic, we know that he just dedicates his life to basketball and then wants to go home. And horses.
It's horses.
His brothers, right?
Yeah.
So, SpongeBob, Despicable Me, at least we're getting to know the guy.
I love it.
And maybe that's another way to market him. Like the kids who like SpongeBob, I like Jokic.
We're going to get one. I'm sure we're, a year away from a Nickelodeon NBA basketball game like they've done with the NFL or something.
Oh, like an NBA Jam Nickelodeon version?
Some slime involved.
In.
That's on the way, I can imagine.
We already got Toy Story in the NFL. I like that, actually, this year. It was the only way I could watch one of the games that I bet on.
So you had to watch it.
Yeah, I know. It was the only. It was Toy Story, and I'm like, Woody. I'm like, what's going on here? I actually think it was the Jaguars. London. And there might have been a London game. Anyways.
All right, Joe. Something that no one could have predicted. It's not like we've talked about this for the last couple of years, but in shocking news, Disney, Warner Brothers, and Fox will be bundling their services and offering them all together in one streaming service. Almost like something we used to have that worked forever and then we decided to ditch it. But Joe, are you in or out on Disney, Warner Brothers, and Fox bundling their streaming services together?
Yeah. All right. I wrote an article about this at 985thesportshub.com yesterday. I am not a cord cutter. I pay for a cable provider. I pay a lot for a cable provider. I have the sports package, the Red Zone, Paramount, Apple. You name it, I have it. Hulu, Amazon, Peacock, Netflix. What else do we have?
Apple.
I don't know what else I got. I got it all. So how do I cut the cord? I have to have all these streams, right? Because I got to bet on the Christmas Day game. I got to bet on Peacock. No, it's not about getting it. It's about betting on it.
I've seen it. But
Vanilla Sky?
No.
See, that's what I mean. Where do you relate to Cameron Diaz? How do you, she was a Charlie's Angel.
I think for me, it's Bad Teacher.
Oh, yeah.
She was in that.
Yeah.
And Day and Night was a Tom Cruise movie that was filmed actually in Bridgewater. that she was in.
Okay, so close to home.
I actually met her, so that was...
Wait, you met her?
I met her and Tom Cruise, yeah.
So please tell me more.
They had lunch at my high school.
They ate at your school. What was she wearing?
I don't remember what she was wearing, but she was very nice. Beautiful lady. Tom Cruise was also very nice.
Did you shake her hand or hug her?
Yeah, I think I just shook their hands.
Oh, okay.
I think they ate at our high school or something like that. They came in and they were very nice. I think they had lunch with our special needs education program.
I heard she's tall.
Yeah, she was tall, which to me is, anything. I'm 5'8", so it doesn't take much to be tall. But yeah, they were both super nice. I thought it was pretty cool that they did that. So yeah, always been a Cameron Diaz fan.
You've met a lot of people.
Yeah.
Every once in a while on this show, it comes out of nowhere that you know somebody.
I wouldn't say I know her, but yeah, I met her. See if I can pull the Google search on that one.
She is listed at 5'9". All right, fine. I'm in on Cameron Diaz. Fine.
Yeah, 2009. Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise. Came to Bridgewater Rainham.
Vanilla Sky. Penelope Cruz was in it. It was a love triangle. Crazy love triangle. Can't spell Cruz. Can't spell crazy without Cruz. Wait, did I say that right? Fine. I'm in on her. Fine.
Yeah, I used to. I shouldn't say used to. I know the guy that owned the fields they filmed in. So I think I was there for that or something, and that's how I met him. Yeah, he's a farmer. I used to work on his farm.
Oh, he's a farmer. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Used to bale hay. That's one of the toughest things I've ever had to do.
Wait, what?
Yeah, baling hay.
See, again, city kid. Where would I ever find hay?
Yeah, Rainham, we got tons of hay.
Like when people tell me vegetables in the garden, I'm like, what? Just didn't have that in the city growing up. What else we got tonight?
All right, Joe. Apparently this went to a judge who made a ruling, but tacos and burritos have now been ruled sandwiches. Joe, are you in or out?
That's such a direct question.
I'm playing hardball.
If I had to give an elevator pitch on what a taco or a burrito is, I would probably call it a Mexican-style sandwich. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
So therefore, I am in on tacos and burritos being ruled sandwiches. Now, here's the deal. When I want a sandwich, I think sandwich is meat, cheese, condiment, bread. Right? If I want tacos, I want beef. You identify it as what it is. So if you want to call it a sandwich, fine. But when someone says, I want a burrito, you don't wrap a sandwich. You get a burrito. But in Indiana, though, they settled the debate. I would love to watch court TV on that one real quick. The court agrees that tacos and burritos are Mexican-style sandwiches. The original written commitment, and I'm reading from this article here, does not restrict potential restaurants to only American cuisine-style sandwiches. That was the ruling. So now what's an American-style sandwich? What? It's a sandwich! But it's a taco. Now, I would like to know about a hot dog now. And you know how this all started? Do you know that, if you open up a franchise, you can't open up a franchise in the same area as, another one? So if you open up, a chicken spot, there can't be, another franchise chicken spot in the area. Because you own the zoning rights. But this here manipulates the word on the zoning. Which, technically, the person who started the store, they called it tacos or a sandwich. In Indiana, a burrito and a taco is a sandwich. Is it in Boston?
That's above my pay grade. I can't make a ruling on that.
What about Rainham?
I'm going to say, what is the court rule? Mexican sandwich? I think that's fine.
Okay. That was my elevator pitch before I read the ruling.
Yeah. I'm in. All right, Joe, we'll stay with the world of fast food then. I had to double check this one and make sure it wasn't an Onion article, but McDonald's has added a sad meal to replace the Happy Meal if you don't want a Happy Meal. So, Joe, are you in or out on the sad meal?
You're not sad. When you pull up to that speaker and you see you can get 2 6-pieces for $3.99, you're not sad, you're happy. When the value menu is rocking, a McDouble for 99 cents, you're in. When they say any fountain soda, 99 cents, you're in. Longer. Oh, yeah, sorry, we'll go to break on this. We're going to have some fun on the other side here, guys.
State it like that.
Did you make this in your home?
No. I one time worked at a McDonald's. Chicken sandwiches, and I put a quarter-pound beef in the middle of it. I called it the McMurray burger. We can make it a song if you want.
Make me your McMurray and make me one right now. Used to chicken.
WBCF 91 bus from the Town Fair Tire Studio, the home of the Bruins, Patriots, Revs, and Celtics.
Come on, Maxi, step back. 3 is good.
Boston's home for sports is 98.5, the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Sports Hub headlines.
Well, I have confirmed a McDouble is now $2.69. Nice. What do we got going on? Well, the Celtics await the winner of the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers. So they await them. They play tomorrow night. Right now, the Timberwolves up 33-14 in the second quarter on Denver in the NHL. Carolina has a 3-2 lead over the Rangers, who are looking to close out the series. Later on tonight, Oilers and Canucks. Red Sox, they're trailing 5-4 now. Rafael Devers hit a home run in that one. David Andrews. till 11 o'clock. The in or out, people are upset because I'm out on McDonald's even having the idea of a sad meal. Like I like soggy fries, no cheese, out on sad meals. When I see the arches, the golden arches, I want happiness. Just like how I started the show today with I'm sitting at the kids' table when it comes to the Celtics. I'm eating my pizza. We're having hoodsies with ice cream. It's going to be awesome. But Tatum and Brown, they're sitting at the kids' table until they win a championship. And that just is a fact at the moment. So we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We're going to try something different here in a little bit. Obviously, we're on the YouTube tonight. So go to youtube.com/985 The Sports Hub, and you can see my guest who's in studio tonight. His name is Chris Costa. He is from Card Vault, and this weekend is the Card Vault Fenway Card Show at the Cathedral of Boston. How you doing, Chris?
Joe, it's good to be here, man.
Welcome into the Joe Show.
The Joe Show.
I feel like this is a seat that has been warming for a while, and I'm glad that you're here at night.
Yeah, I mean, look, Joe, we've spent a lot of time together. We've talked a lot over the years. You're a card collector, and it feels like its time is due. Us hanging out here in the studio, talking cards, having some fun.
Well, I'll let you know this. Do you know how many people say, hey, Joe, I got this, what do I do with it? So I'm going to start off right now. If you have anything, don't ask us what it's worth. The number one thing in the hobby is this. You take it somewhere. Like Chris has a spot, plenty of places. Fenway Park. Fenway, you'll have your card show this week, which you guys will be there. And if you want to bring your cards, you can do that. But you guys have a spot at the Garden, right where the Bobby Orr statue is, right on the right-hand side,
there.
next to Big Night right there. Gillette Stadium, right?
Yep.
You got that Sugar across the street. I'm
That's
sure you
right.
guys play
That's
over there
right.
a little bit. Foxwoods.
That's right.
Take your stuff. Bring it to the guys. Let them evaluate it. They'll send it out to you. I know you guys do.
Yeah.
You guys have sent PSA stuff out for me, SGC. These are grading companies for those that are wondering. Are these type of vendors going to be at the Fenway Card Show this week?
Yeah, for sure. And for a little bit of context, so you mentioned we have 3 stores, our Card Vault locations, TD Garden, Gillette Stadium, and Foxwoods. And they're hobby shops that are meant for the fan to be able to come in and get introduced to the hobby. They're perfect for a new collector, for a fan that's interested in cards, that wants to get back into cards, but then also tailored for the experienced collector, right? We've got some cards that I brought in here tonight that I would say are more on the experienced end of the spectrum.
We're going to show those off in a little bit here.
But yeah, what you can expect at the show is versions of businesses that are similar to ours, folks that don't have shops but that are dealers that travel the country, buying, selling, and trading, folks that specialize in memorabilia, folks that specialize in non-sport cards like Pokemon, trading cards, etc. And then also one of the cool parts of the Fenway Card Show this weekend is always our autograph pavilion. So Saturday we have a lineup of autograph guests headlined by Johnny Damon. Sunday we have a group of autograph guests headlined by Terry Francona and Derek Lowe. Sunday's actually kind of a mini 04 World Series team reunion. We've got Orlando Cabrera, we've got Pokey Reese, we've got a bunch, Lenny DiNardo, and a bunch of other players. So it's a weekend. The show itself is a weekend for everybody. It's not just your heavy collectors or folks that know their way around sports card collecting. It's fans. It's advanced collectors, new collectors, non-collectors, and everybody in between.
I'm glad you said that because I went last year for the first time. I didn't really know what I was going to get into. I figured it would be vendor tables and walking the concourse. I went in. I met the guys from PSA. Yes. I had my Patriots ticket from the snow game. Mm-hmm. Met somebody from PSA there.
Yeah.
They took it with them. I got it back in like 15 days, which PSA, it could be a little bit of time. But I actually got to speak to people. I met different tables. Plenty of different collectors, right? Whether it's vintage, new stuff. There are people doing breaks, which we'll get into a little bit here. But there is one person that's going to be there. When you mentioned the autograph pavilion, Antoine Walker.
That's right.
Skaz and I talk about if he played in the NBA nowadays, the way that he shot the three.
Money.
This is his game. This would be his league.
He's the perfect modern-day player.
14 threes. He was way before his time. But what's he going to be doing at the Fenway Card?
Twan is there on Saturday. So if you come down to the Fenway Card Show and you are a Saturday day one ticket holder, you're getting a free Antoine Walker autograph. So anybody that comes to the show on Saturday, just by being there and having a ticket, you're going to get a free Antoine Walker autograph. You're going to head up to the autograph pavilion. You're going to meet Antoine Walker.
Wow.
He'll sign whatever you want him to sign for free. $0.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Not a bad deal. Go to the Fenway Card Show. Kids 12 and under.
That's right.
Free.
Yeah, that's an important point. If you're 12 and under with an adult ticket holder, you're getting in free. So bring the kids, bring the family, bring the kids and the kids' friends. It's an awesome weekend. I mean, there's no way of talking around it. We've got concessions, food, drinks, music. We've got activations. We'll have the VR home run derby going, the radar gun pen going.
Ooh,
you'll
I like
Wally,
that.
Wally will be walking around for the kids.
There's a Wally controversy going on right now.
Wow. What do we got?
I don't know, Skaz. I don't know if we want to
You guys got a
fill
lot of
Chris in on this
controversy.
one.
On my way over here, we're talking about whether or not tacos and burritos or sandwiches.
Did you hear about this?
I disagree.
There was a ruling in Indiana.
There was, and I disagree with you. I think a sandwich is 2 pieces of bread. You're not telling me something with 1 piece of wrapping is
a tortilla wrap is not a sandwich.
Joe, sandwich means you're sandwiching the meat between 2 pieces of bread. Wrapping something like beef, pork, carnitas, that's not a sandwich.
So what's going on in Indiana then?
I don't know. They're confused. There's a lot of confusion.
There's a real ruling. Now, by the way, zoning is a thing, so maybe this is a way to skate around it here. But did you hear Zoe? He called in. He said, "What's up to you?"
He did.
He called in about aliens, which
Leave it to Zoe.
So we do a thing, Area 985. Anything after 9 o'clock, it gets a little weird here at night. But there was an alien video, and they debunked it. But now they're saying that it's true. So there were 8-foot aliens and 6-foot aliens that crashed in Las Vegas. And now they're telling us it's true.
So I remember that video, and everybody was freaked out. The body cam footage came out. Like you said, they debunked it. Now I missed this. So now they're saying, wait a second.
They say there's no way that they cannot prove that it happened.
Wow. Zoe's on it. Zoe's got the tinfoil hat. He's at home with the tinfoil hat right now. He's cooking up conspiracies.
Yep. He's done some shows with you guys.
He has. Zoe's the best. First off, you bring Zoe to a show, everybody loves him, right? And then he is so personable. He will sign anything for anybody. He says hi to anybody, takes pictures with everybody, and he shows up early and he leaves late. He's as good a guest as we have at any of our shows, so shout out to Zoe. But it's going to be an amazing weekend at Fenway.
We have his rookie card right there.
Do you really?
Right there on the desk.
Look at that.
So we keep it here year-round. All right, let's do a little cleaning on the card show at the Cathedral Boston Fenway this weekend, May 18th and 19th. Collectibles, memorabilia, all that stuff. Kids 12 and under are free. The 04 Red Sox will be on hand, so they'll be both days. Antoine Walker is giving away free autographs when you come in. FenwayCardShow.com. And here's a couple of things that I wanted to mention. Just what's hot right now. Like I'm into Wemby. C.J. Stroud, Caitlin Clark, Messi. I know that's something Skaz likes. Ohtani. What else is hot right now in the card world?
Well, you checked a lot of the boxes. Caitlin Clark in particular, super hot when it comes to her market, her value, the number of eyeballs on her. Ohtani is always one of the top chases. But in the baseball world right now, we just had Bowman baseball release. Which I think is relevant because there's a number of Red Sox prospects in the Bowman baseball release. So the way baseball works is a lot of the value is around prospecting. Young players that haven't made their major league debut yet. So a lot of folks will go out there and hunt their cards thinking, hey, I'm getting the first professional card of what's going to be the next Mike Trout or the next Ohtani. So this year, we just had Bowman release last week. Kyle Teal, who's a top 3 Red Sox prospect. He is in this year's Bowman release, among many other top prospects. Dylan Cruz for the Nationals. He's the top chase this year. So that's like what's hot in the market right now when it comes to baseball. The prospects, the young kids, the guys that might get called up this year, might get called up next year, that might be a flash in the pan, or they might be a long-term solution.
Yeah, so something me and Joe, I can't remember if we talked about it on the air or off, but when it comes to baseball and the cards specifically, do you think that baseball cards kind of hold their value longer because of the fans, because of baseball's audience tends to be a little bit older, more of historical, kind of invested in it that way, where we were looking at the value of cards just in general, and it seems like baseball cards seem to hold their value more than other sports. Do you think that's because of the audience, or is there some other reason why?
Yeah, there's two reasons. One, sports cards kind of started with baseball. So like that's the backbone, the foundation of the sports card industry. I have a couple of 1952 Mickey Mantle rookie cards here.
Do you know how much that card is, by the way?
I don't even want to guess.
Take a guess, Skaz.
I'd guess out of $5,000.
But what?
More?
Yeah. What year is it
20?
again?
20 grand?
1952 Topps Mickey Mantle rookie card. It's a PSA 5 condition. This card is $200,000.
Yeah, that's
I have a PSA 4 right under it. That's $150,000.
How'd you guys obtain that?
So we, early on in our business, we were dealers, right? Buying and selling and trading, traveling the country, going to all the trade shows, all the other versions of the Fenway Card Show around the country. And we did a lot of business in the high end. So we've got a ton of Brady rookies that are, not quite the value of this.
You guys have a big vault.
Yeah,
that's the whole. You walk in, you see the vault, and you're like, "Let me in."
Yeah, so that's part of our business: buying, selling, and trading, moving parts of our collection into other cards, moving other cards into new parts of our collection, speculating on young prospects, investing in vintage Hall of Famers like Mickey Mantle, Jackie Robinson, Michael Jordan. So that's just one part of our business. The other part of our business is, people come in, they buy boxes, which I bought a couple of, sealed boxes, and they open to see what they can get. Chase some of the new young rookies. You and I will open a couple of boxes here on air. But yeah, this is a special card. The 1952 Mickey Mantle is the card. It's probably the most iconic sports card alongside the 86 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie. It's special. It's a piece of history. And it's a $200,000 piece of cardboard, Skaz. It's crazy.
It's held its value.
It had, but to your question, baseball, it's the backbone of sports cards, so that's one reason. Second is baseball prospects tend to take a little bit longer to mature, right? So a player in baseball to really reach their full potential or really to start producing in the majors might be 26, 27, 28 years old, where in the NBA, if you're not producing by the time you're 22, 23, collectors move on from you in a lot of cases. Same deal in football, right? So I think that also plays a part in it. It's a very unique market, right? Because the prospecting component, players are, they have cards before they make it to the professional league. So
it's like a lottery ticket almost.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and not like the 01 quarterback class in the NFL with Kenny Pickett and Justin Fields and Mac Jones and Zach Wilson.
Not great.
That I went hard on Kenny Pickett and Desmond Ridder.
Not great.
But that's what you do, right?
Time to come in.
You go all in on those.
Well, you pick your spots, right? And I think any collector, if you're trying to look at sports cards as an investment, you want to diversify like you would in anything else, right? So yeah, sure, if you like Kenny Pickett and you want to buy Kenny Pickett cards, you better go and find somebody to hedge your bet with, right? Is that somebody who's got a little bit more tenure in the league, like a Patrick Mahomes, like a Justin Herbert? Is their market maxed out? So you want to kind of hedge your bets much like you would in the stock market. Think about Michael Jordan or Mickey Mantle as your Googles, your Amazons, your Apples, and you think about your Jason Tatums, your Luka Doncics, and your Kenny Pickett's as your Zooms and your Airbnbs and your less mature companies. That's how I like to explain it to people that are just getting in. But yeah, Joe, Kenny Pickett, man.
Oh, that one hurt me. Mac Jones, too. Whenever I see that thing, I'm like, get it out of here. And by the way, kickers and linemen, as far as cards, out.
Get them out.
Who? I have Cole Strange rookie cards. What am I going to do with those things?
Not much. Unless you find Cole Strange, down at Patriot Place one day and you get him to sign him. It's not looking good for the offensive lineman sports cards these days, or kickers and punters.
We're going to have some fun with the cards in a minute here. I got to ask you a couple of questions because technology is now taking over in the business. Who do I believe now? There's Card Ladder. There's Alt. Right? There's these scanners that I can use now. Like, there's all these things out there. There's the Card Maven. Technology. Tell me the involvement it is and how much do you put into it?
Yeah, well, first off, it's amazing that the sports card industry has now seen so much technology and so much investment in the space, right? So that's a good thing. But it does come with a little bit of confusion, right? You're a collector. You're a new collector. Now I have all these tools at my disposal. I've got to figure out what card is which. Typically, I use two things. I use Card Ladder, which you mentioned, which is an application you can download on your phone. You have a card in front of you. You can search the card, and it will pull up all of the sales history on that card across every platform, across eBay, all the private auction houses, and any other platform that sports cards are traded on. The other option is to look at eBay itself. eBay is the largest marketplace for trading cards. It's the largest marketplace for a lot of things, but for trading cards, it's absolutely the largest marketplace that we have. So by searching a card, or even just searching a player and their rookie card in general, you can get a sense of what their market looks like by looking at their sales history. You pull up sales history, you sort it by date, by price, by whatever characteristic you want to sort it by, and you can start to learn a little bit more about, hey, how does a player's card sell? A lot of people might think, hey, why don't Manny Ramirez cards sell for more than, Nolan Ryan cards? He's a power hitter, right-handed power hitter, played for the Red Sox. Well, there's some reasons behind that, and Manny Ramirez sells for less than Nolan Ryan. So by being able to look for a player's sales history and getting a sense of what their market is, you can really do well in the sports card space, and you can learn a lot.
Yeah, I've just been curious of who to use these days and where am I getting my accurate information from.
I go Card Ladder and eBay.
All right. One last thing. This is my personal collection holder.
Let me see this bad boy.
Yeah, well, you can look through it, but here's the deal. A card collector. You're like, how someone does CrossFit? They do CrossFit because they tell you.
They're going to tell you.
I'm thinking like a
they're going to tell you about.
Like a bowler showing up with his own bag.
Yeah, like exactly. Or guys bringing their own clubs to like Top Golf. You know what I mean? That kind of thing, right? The card business, man, these hobbyists, they got a case, bro. Now, so I'm ignorant, okay? But what's like the best case? What's one that Chris Koster suggests for most people?
We like Zion cases at Card Vault. We sell Zion cases. We have different models. We have, crossbody strap mini cases that you can take to card shows with you. We've got the hard shelled cases that you can kind of make sure you feel comfortable about your card sitting in there and traveling with. So Zion cases is definitely the product that we believe in.
How many cards do you think they hold? How many do they hold?
There's different models. There's one that holds probably 20, and there's other models that hold probably 250. I mean,
wow.
You've got full suitcase models that are out there in the wild.
Whenever I went to the Foxwoods card show and I walk in and I'm like, well, where's the event? Where is it tonight? And I just saw all the bros with their, like, looks like like when a construction worker goes to work with his lunch, when he's got that nice cooler. That's what it looks like. It's just everybody's holding this giant thing of cards that they're looking to trade with everybody. And it's funny, you go to the tables, you think you're looking at the people's things, and it's just their box of Zion cards that you're going through.
Skaz, I'm flipping through Joe's cards here, and one of the first cards I pull out, if this doesn't tell you or scream Joe Murray, I've got a Chuck Norris Metal Pop Century PSA 10 autograph.
That's Joe Murray.
That's Joe Murray.
That's Joe Murray.
Chuck Norris Pop Century autograph.
One of one, by the way.
It's a 1-of-1. That's a great card.
Like, what the hell am I going to do with that?
Sell it.
No, who wants it, though?
eBay.
But I'm going to be the one who sets them.
Probably some guy in Indiana right now who thinks a burrito's a sandwich, and he'll pay $700 for this Chuck Norris 101.
That's Chris Costa, everybody. He is from the Card Vault. The Card Vault Fenway Park Card Show is this week. Well, I'll try to say that 5 times. Hey, we got to take a quick headline here. Chris going to hang out. We're going to rip. And here's what I suggest everybody to do. Go on over to YouTube. We're going to crack open. We're going to show you some cards. We'll do that next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, Bruins play Game 6 tomorrow night at the Garden. We have all the coverage beginning at 6:30 with the puck drop. All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We're trying something new here, so we got our YouTube all hooked up. I got Chris Costa here, everybody. He's from Card Vault. Check out his locations. One's at the Garden, and you guys got that cool studio that we broadcasted in.
That's right.
I was with Felger and Maz that day. By the way, that day has a lot of significance to me because I said that the Celtics could front run their way to an NBA final.
Wow.
What I mean by front run is just blow everybody out, no close games, don't worry about the close games. Just beat everybody. At the time, people thought it was a wild take. I think they can front run their way. Like, I think they could. Yeah, they've lost a couple of close games. Every game they've lost in the playoff, by the way, has been either a bad shooting night or getting beat inside the paint.
It feels like they've strategically gone down this path knowing the opponents that they've been facing, and they're playing so much ISO ball with Tatum, and I think they're going to come up against an opponent where they're going to get tested, and then they're going to turn on their team game. I'm 100% with you, Joe. I think this team has been purposely playing the way that they're playing, and they're getting ready and saving the gas in the tank for what's going to be probably a bigger challenge. But to your point, front running doesn't look like it's out of the question.
You got a sports take from Chris Costa there, huh?
That's a take.
Coming in with a little take.
Take there?
Little take.
Man, we love takes.
Hey, listen, I think we've been labeled the kids table. There's people that are at the adult table that want to look at the isolation plays and how they play down the stretch and all that stuff. Just give me a game where they've actually had to do that. They played a clutch game on the road and won.
Yep.
Granted, they're going to tell you that it was against the opponents, and this is my whole thing. We don't remember who certain teams beat along the way. I use the pizza analogy. Yeah. Don't care how it's made. Just deliver it, baby. That's all I care about. Don't care how they got there. Just deliver.
Deliver the pizza. That's all that matters.
Real quick, you guys did something for Wick Grossbeck.
Yeah.
The whole starting five and a nice little plaque.
Yeah.
Graded. That was cool.
Wick's awesome. He's been a friend of ours and has been great to us. He asked us to commission a collection, a display for his office. Celtics starting five. He wanted a significant card for each of the starting five, or the core starting five, right? Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Drew, and Derek White. So we went out, scoured the world. We found a great card of each player, rookie patch autographs, 101s, and we built an LED backlit Celtics starting five card vault display that he has in his office now. It's really, really cool.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's really
Go Google that if you haven't had
go
a
check
chance.
it out on our Instagram.
No, I was going to say, so it's on the Instagram? Where can people see it?
At Card Vault US on Instagram. You can
definitely going to check that out.
Skaz is just setting me up on a platter right there.
Absolutely.
Speaking of delivering the pizza, thank you, Skaz.
Hey, we have a caller who has a card question. Carl's in Worcester. Hey, Carl.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I know you guys aren't on here like, hey, tell me what my card's worth. But I pulled a one of one top Series 1 first card no stamp. And I know there was a recall on them, but I don't know much about it other than that. Any chance you could tell me about it?
Yeah. Do you know who the player was?
Yeah, it was Trent Grisham.
So, yeah, it's definitely a short printed card. It's a rare card, but, it's Trent Grisham. It's not a rookie year. It's not going to –
Yeah, exactly.
You're not sending your kids to college. But it's a very cool card, and if you ran that on eBay, I wouldn't be surprised if it did, over $100. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
That works,
$100 for a piece of cardboard is not bad.
Of a player, non-rookie year, that's not really necessarily a superstar. I think that's pretty good.
And by the way, I'm not soliciting your business here, but people can just walk right into your business and say, hey, I have this. What do I do with it?
That's what our guys do.
And you guys will recommend, hey, man, let's get this graded. It's going to be worth 3 times more than what it is.
Yeah, our staff at any of our locations, TD Garden, Patriot Place, or Foxwoods, they'll be able to point you in the right direction. You bring in what you have. We'll let you know what we think it's worth. We'll let you know if we think you should sell it, where we think you should sell it. Our guys are great. They know what they're doing.
All right, so Chris brought cards with him. He's going to show you what it is to open a card. But you can show the mantles, too, if you want to throw those
I'll show
out.
a couple of examples. Listen, we're high-tech here. We've got multiple camera angles. We're live on YouTube.
Yes, let's see how it works, Skaz.
Let's do it.
We're trying something out. So this is, if you need a stand, too, you can throw one right up over here. I got a bunch of these bad boys
I think I got the right angle there. So on the YouTube right now, I've got a 1-of-1 Dynasty Mike Trout laundry tag patch auto. So super high-end on-card patch auto of Mike Trout. That's like a $5,000 card. Pretty cool. I also thought this would be appropriate. I have the first on-card David Ortiz rookie autograph of him in a Twins uniform.
Is it David Ortiz or David Arias?
This is David Ortiz, but it's post David Arias.
Look at this on the YouTube. This is looking great.
Look at us. It's like we're in 4K or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the David Ortiz card. David Ortiz graded what?
That's a PSA 10. So gem mint condition, 1997 Don Russ. I thought that's a pretty cool.
Wow.
That's about a $700 card. Pretty sweet. And then the big boys. We've got the 1952, the card, the iconic card, 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. That's in a PSA 4. That's about a $150,000 card. And that's probably the nicest 4 you'll see in the market. It's centered. It's got great coloring. The edges are clean.
Do you remember, like, back in the day? I'm aging myself, but there was a guy, Norm Risha. He was like a legend card guy in the area, or did all memorabilia. And
I know
stuff.
Norm. I know of him.
Okay, so you know, yeah. This is like the card. He would try to find this thing, and you have it now.
He'd be at the Shriners show. Yeah, he'd be at Shriners Auditorium.
Look at that thing. That is the legendary card.
And then there's an even better version. I have a PSA 5 right behind it, and that's the one we were talking about being worth $200,000.
Man.
PSA 5, 1952 Mantle. So a lot of firepower here. But again, this is one end of the industry. There's a whole nother end where you collect what you like. You go after your favorite players. You find a Chuck Norris autograph. You go get your favorite movie star card autograph. And everything in between.
So what do you got? What do you got for boxes? Are these blasters? What are these?
So I got 2 hobby boxes, Joe.
Hobbies. Ooh.
And because we got the camera, I'll just do both of them on camera so folks can see. I was gonna do one, each of us do a box battle, but we'll leave them here. Or even better yet, maybe we'll take them with us to the show and we'll hold them at the card vault table, whatever we pull here. And if you come up to the table, you say, "I heard you on the Joe Show." First 2 to come up, they're gonna get the cards.
Wow.
How's that sound? Whatever we pull.
Go up to the card vault table. Tell him you heard Chris on the card on the show, and he'll pull some of these for you.
Yeah, so each of these cards, so we have Topps Archive Signature Series. There's 1 card in this box. It's every card's autographed, and this is the Retired Player Series. So guys like Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle, Don Mattingly, David Ortiz, everybody in between, retired stars, and then plenty of guys that most of us have forgotten about. So there's 50-50 chance we had a name. And then we've got Clear Cut Hockey. From 22-23, this is another premium 1-card upper deck hockey product. 1 card in the box, guaranteed autograph. You're chasing guys like Connor McDavid and everybody in between, all the rookies in that class. You got Matty Beniers and everything. So let's start with hockey.
Let's do it.
We're doing it on YouTube if you want to take a look.
And you guys have these at your store too, right? So if you crack one of these, somebody who's like, "I want one," they can go right on.
Exactly, yeah. These and many others. So the Clear Cut Hockey is going to be Nick Blankenberg. It is a rookie autograph for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Not what you're looking for, but if you come to the Fenway Card Show, you're going to get that for free at the Card Vault table. You just say, "Hey, I was listening to Chris at the Joe Show." So you're going to get a rookie autograph of Nick Blankenberg. And then let's do our Archive Signature Series. Again, these are probably like $100 boxes, so it's not nothing. Archive Signature Series here is going to be, let me put that over here on camera. There's the Blankenberg. That's going to be numbered, I believe.
This is the first card break ever in Sports Hub history.
That's right.
And these are basically hobby boxes. They're all autographed, so you're guaranteed an autograph. It's just a surprise of who it would be.
Yeah, so in these products, guaranteed an autograph. 1 card per box, guaranteed autograph. Every product is different. That's one of the cool things about the industry. So on the hobby front, you're mainly searching for autographs or low-numbered parallels. And let's see what we got. Wow, okay, so I did not plan this. But appropriately, we've got a Carlton Fisk on-card autograph numbered to 18. Very cool.
Holy smokes.
Very, very cool.
Pudge.
That is awesome.
I don't think
he's in a White Sox uniform, which obviously he did play for the White Sox.
More years for the White Sox than he did the Red Sox.
So serial numbered 15 of 18. That means they made 18 copies of this. That's on-card Carlton Fisk autograph. That will be at the Fenway Card Show, at the Card Vault booth. You come down, and you're the first one to say, "I heard Chris on the Joe Show." You're going to get the Fisk card, and then the second person that comes up will get the Blankenberg card. How's that work?
Wow. What a great deal.
I just came up with that in my brain.
You're
in real time.
Well, Chris, I'm not kissing your ass here, but I think you're the face of the hobby right now, my man.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
I know you're a humble guy, but
I appreciate you.
Well, listen, I'm going to support you guys. Hey, listen, I got to give a shout out to your guys. Matty, Debo, right? There's Boomer. There's all those guys there.
Smitty, the whole crew.
Smitty, by the way, is a baseball guy.
Yeah.
And even Skaz gave a little smile
knows Smitty.
when we talked about Smitty there. But you got a great team, man. And the card show, I'm telling you, you kind of mentioned it. You don't even have to be a hobbyist. Like, just go. Walk around. Like, you people watch, or you just kind of want to watch what's going on. It's that kind of crowd where you might want to just get a ticket just to see what it's all about.
It's just a cool weekend at Fenway Park. It's an excuse to get into the ballpark. We have full access to the stands. You can come out, grab a hot dog, have a drink, sit in the bleachers, look at the field for an hour, come into the card show, look at some cool cards, grab a piece of memorabilia, and get a free autograph. You can't beat it.
You got people they got to run down there to get these cards. Wow, if I just tell you I met Joe, you're going to give me a card with free money. So people are excited.
They're
about
in the
that,
comments. Man. They're firing away.
That's great, Chris. I feel like I appreciate you bringing 2 boxes. I've never seen one box actually cracked open with just one card in it.
Yeah, it's a cool product.
I usually go into the streams and watch other people do that. I have a question about card breaks real quick. How do you feel about the people who are on the Whatnots or the Fanatics Live and all that, and they're pulling these one-of-ones and freaking out about them? Do you feel like it's about the person who purchased it more than it is about who pulled the card?
Well, yeah, it is, right? So there's a threshold, right, of what's appropriate. Now, if your customer buys a spot from you as a breaker and you're able to pull a $10,000 card for somebody, a $100,000 card for somebody, it's hard not to get excited, A, being the person that pulled it, and also pulling it for them. But there is a level of kind of overboard right now in the breaker space. And for those of you that aren't aware, box breaking, it's this phenomenon where our company and many other companies around the country will be going live on platforms all day long, and we open boxes, much like the box I just opened, on camera for our customers. They buy a box, they buy a spot, we open it on a live stream. There's hundreds of people in the room. People are in the comments, cheering people on, reacting to pulls. And then when a big card gets hit, most breakers or some breakers react, we'll call it heavily. And yeah, I agree with you, Joe. There's probably a little bit too much of that going on, right? It's more the buyer's card than it is the breaker's, but it's hard not to get excited. These cards are exciting. I get excited about them.
I get really excited.
We just pulled a Carlton Fisk. I almost yelled.
I actually don't think I've ever seen Carlton Fisk's autograph before on a card.
It's pretty cool.
So, and he's obviously a Hall of Famer, so it's going to be worth a ton. But just randomly, I just happened to pull this Enfuego Jason Tatum.
So Joe's reaching into his case. Ooh,
should I grade that?
So
they only made a few of them. It's a Jason Tatum.
The answer is yes.
Okay, so you should grade those special type of cards.
Well, the reason I say yes is that this one it's an insert, right? So the Enfuego is an insert in Select, much like in the 90s basketball sets, they had inserts. So they're cards that are randomly inserted into the packs that don't match the rest of the set. They're kind of rarer versions of what's normally in the pack. This one, though, is serial numbered to 25. So this is a parallel of what would be the base Enfuego, right? So you pull the normal Enfuego out, but then there's colored or parallel versions of it. This one is serial number to 25. So there's only 25 of this specific card made in the world. And this is a tie-dye version. That's what 25 means. It's a tie-dye parallel. This I would grade because, A, it's serial number to 25. It's Jason Tatum, and it's super rare. So
Thank you.
The answer is
I
yes.
pulled that from Card Vault from Debo.
Wow. On a stream?
On a stream on Whatnot.
And then it got mailed right to your house.
Right to my house the next day, by the way.
How about that?
So shout out to Debo.
We delivered the pizza, baby.
Full circle.
This guy's a pro.
Listen, I think this guy knows a little something about radio. Let me tell you that. All right, Chris, this weekend, Fenway Card Show at Fenway Park. What else? What else do we need to know?
FenwayCardShow.com. Again, a weekend for everybody. Kids 12 and under get in free with a ticketed adult. We've got autograph signers all weekend long, and you're getting a free autograph each day. And on Saturday, that free autograph is Antoine Walker.
Awesome. Hey, and the first 2 people who walk up to the Card Vault table and say, hey, I heard Chris on the Joe Show. He pulled 2 autographed cards tonight. One just happened to be Carlton Fisk.
Yeah.
The other a hockey star. What was his name again?
So the hockey is Nick Blankenberg. It's a rookie autograph for the Columbus Blue Jackets. The second card was Carlton Fisk, on-card autograph out of 18. So the first person that comes up will get the Fisk, because it's, I think, the better card. The second person that comes up will get the Blankenberg. You're getting a free autograph if you listen to the Joe Show, and you're the first or the second person that comes up to the booth and says, I heard Chris on the Joe Show.
Chris Costa, everybody. He came in. He brought swag for Skaz. He's all happy. He brought me a bag. He brought in a couple of boxes. It's a hell of a night. We got an hour to go. He's Chris Costa, everybody. Give him a follow and give Card Vault a follow. And, of course, this weekend, the Fenway Card Show. I'm going to be there on Sunday. So I'm on until 2 o'clock here. Probably hyping it up. And then I'll be driving in the afternoon so you can come see me and the 04 Red Sox. Me and the 04 Red Sox and Chris Costa hanging out. Chris, thanks again, my man. And anything else you want to plug before we say goodbye?
No, I think just, again, Card Vault, 3 locations around. We try to offer an experience that's for everybody, so don't be intimidated. Come on in, see our team, ask questions. Sports cards are cool, and they're cool again. And we're pumped to be here in the New England area.
All right, this weekend, Fenway Card Show. In this hour of the Sports Dozen brought to you by Valvoline Innocent Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. 15% off your next drive-thru oil change at Valvoline Innocent Oil Change. Now open in Franklin, Billerica, and Peabody. We'll get back on track after this.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.
They are losing bad in the third quarter to Minnesota, so that series will be tied at 3. Celtics await. They await the winner of the Pacers in New York. And in hockey, Rangers came back to win 5-3. Oh. That's going to be the team to beat right there, I think. Can we talk other hockey? Is that all right?
That just makes me want the Bruins to win even more, so we could have a potential Knicks, Celtics, Rangers, Bruins, Eastern Conference Finals on both sides.
All right, well, that would be fun. Oilers and Canucks just underway. David Andrews made some money. $8 million guaranteed. Headlines, which we're very late for. Actually, it says 10:06 right here. The ultimate golf getaway, courtesy of Long Drink at participating liquor stores and restaurants near you. Just look for the bright blue can or visit longdrink.com. I'm Joe Murray. Next update, 20 minutes.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app. The 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I go, Skaz, we can skip the musings. Skaz says, no. We got to get the musings in.
It's a full show. Give the people what they want.
Thanks, Chris Costa. Great job tonight, my man. Sounds like he's done the radio a few times or so. And we've never done that phone VMix thing. So
it looked great. YouTube numbers jumped up. Yeah, that was I was a little nervous how the picture was going to look, but no, it was looked great on the phone.
Dude, there were 2 cards in here worth $500,000.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Do you know I thought for a minute here, like,
I don't think that's a
so.
I think that's a for sure you'd go to jail.
Plus, you know, with those graded cards now, they have scanners on them, so it's like they know who you bought them from now. Anyways. Thanks, Chris. And he gave us some good swag, my man. Did you see the sweatshirt?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. I'm going to wear this thing.
You'll see me in that tomorrow night. We'll have to get the camera working.
I know. How do we get that going back there?
I don't know. I've tried.
All right, I had a bunch from musings. I saw the Iron Claw movie. Another one I wanted to share with you is this Saturday, I will be at the Songus Arena, and I will be the captain of the Massachusetts Pirates Arena League football game. I have been invited by the Mass Pirates, who previously were... I've never been a captain for a game before. I mean, I captained in high school 4 years. But I've never been a captain's guy, so anything I should know? It's an Arena League football game. Todd Angeli singing the national anthem.
You going to be doing the coin toss?
That's what I think I'm doing.
I expect a good coin toss. No.
A good flip?
You going to let it hit the ground, or are you going to catch it?
Absolutely hitting the ground.
Got to hit the ground.
Not hitting that thing. Every Super Bowl, myself and Bird, we flip the Everett coin. We bet on it, too.
What's on an Everett coin? We got like a front porch on one, yeah. Some jean shorts on the other.
Or a bad tattoo on one side and the tan on the other. No, it's just a coin from Everett. Bird was in the chat a little while ago. Did you see him in there?
Yeah, B to the R to the R to the D.
That's how you know it's him. Some people still don't know it's me, as I'm just sitting here. Joe is absolutely scheming. I saw his eyes.
A kid in the candy store.
Thanks, Chris. Chris, that was cool, man, if he's driving around. Thanks for doing that. Oh, and then the other musing that I had was... I put this in the Slack a while ago. This was from a couple of weeks ago, so I might have to go back in time because it really triggered me. I told you I went to many years of Catholic school. And this one got me. A Catholic priest in Philadelphia used the church credit card to spend $40,000 on Candy Crush and Mario Kart. Imagine if they used the $40,000 on cards. Nope. Not trading cards. Not breaks. Candy Crush and Mario Kart. Since when do you pay for Mario Kart? How do you spend $40,000 on phone games? No. How does a priest spend $40,000 on phone games? I have never purchased a game on my phone. I've never done an Angry Bird or a Fun Run or a Candy Crush. But these are the tactics from a priest. Ow!
All right, Joe. Since you mentioned it, I did see something that you may pique your interest. There was an AI priest.
Oh no! No!
That a church paid $10,000 to develop, but he was defrocked, which means basically he was canceled by the church because he told the followers of this AI priest that you can baptize a child in Gatorade. So he was defrocked for that. So the AI priest is no more.
That was so the Catholic Church created an artificial version of a priest.
$10,000.
They passed the hat for that, right? They did that. Again, I went to Catholic school. I grew up in the city of Boston. I was an altar boy. I have the right to feel this way. They paid $10,000 to get an AI priest, and the AI priest goes, "You can baptize with Gatorade."
Father Justin, his name was. Apparently, they've stripped him of the father title, and now he's just an AI bot that goes by Justin.
Do they get to keep him?
I don't. I mean, you pay
they spent
$10,000.
$10,000.
Maybe you can work out some of the bugs. I don't know. Yeah, I saw that one. Didn't really know how I could work it in, but can always find a way in Murray's Musings.
Other things I would have assumed that a priest would blow $50,000 on. Danny Trejo, 80 years old today. How about that? Pierce Brosnan. Oh, did they spend any money on 007? 71 years old and looking mighty handsome. Deborah Winger, 69. Nice. Janet Jackson, 58. I hear her commercials all the time here. David Boreanaz, 55 years old. Tori Spelling, what a birthday today. 50. She's 51. Wow, getting old. That's a big day for birthdays today. We already said Megan Fox. We might as well say it again because she's probably deserving of that. Am I missing any, guys? Any other birthdays you got?
I got John Sally, Detroit Pistons.
Oh, I got one. Nirvana bassist Chris Novoselic, 59 years. The guy, my favorite bands, they're now 60 years old. Are you kidding me? Well, the ones that are still alive. Chris Novoselic threw a guitar up in the air and hit himself and knocked himself out. Tucker Carlson's 55. Ooh, Travis Bennett, he's on the show Dave. If you've watched that, Little Dicky. That's good. That's all I got, guys. Anything else?
That's all I got for birthdays.
All right.
We've done it all tonight,
I
Joe.
still can't believe we had $500,000 worth of cards here tonight.
I know. I was trying to
He came by himself.
You don't want to say, "Oh, I think it's worth that much," because you don't want to.
You said $5,000, and I looked at you like, "Are you kidding me?"
I knew I was low, but I did not expect to be that low.
Brother, that's like the holy grail of cards. Like as a kid, I was saying I used to watch locally we had Norm Risha, but they who they all sound like is who's the old Shake It Up, Scotty Farrell.
On the bench.
They all sound like him. We got this Ken Griffey 1989. You got to get it. It's an upper deck.
One.
You got to get him.
Scotty Farrell. A lot of late nights listening to that.
But just like infomercials for cards, there was a market for it. These Wembanyamas, you gotta get them. Wemby. He went through my personal collection and he found the Chuck Norris 101, huh?
That's a card. That's a good one right there.
How'd the camera look good, huh?
It looked really good. Was that your phone or was that his?
That was my phone.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Yeah. Just dialed right in the VMix.
Well, I think we'll be bringing that back this summer.
Joe, what do you think I can get for a Randy Johnson 95 Flair? Bring it to the show! I'm hearing for the first time on Joey Murr's show, which is crazy coincidence because I just started buying cards from you a month ago. All right. Well, let's get back to the Celtics and the Bruins and the schedule. We'll do all that coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
All right, back here at 98.5 The Sports Hub. We had a full show tonight. Of course, it went off the rails, per usual. Thank you for all who joined in tonight. It was fun. We on YouTube, if you want to join the show. It's nighttime, so you're home, right? Just go to your smart TV, download the YouTube app, and then just type in 98.5 The Sports Hub and watch us live. You can do it on your phone, your iPad, wherever. This one's great from, I believe his name is Jay. Unfortunately, if history repeats itself, prepare yourselves for the pants crapping to begin tomorrow night for the Bruins after they and we found out they would face the Rangers in the next round. People are really rooting for this New York thing to happen, huh? I don't want to see the New York Knicks. You know why? They're a pesky team that's well coached with a player who will do it all by himself, doesn't need anybody else. They play defense, and Tom Thibodeau is just a pain. And I don't want a guy that coached the 08 team coming back against this team. Don't want it. Out. Plus, he's just a better coach than Mazzulla. Yep, I said it. And when it comes to the New York Rangers, they own the Bruins.
So Thibodeau scares you more than Carlisle.
Mm-hmm.
Carlisle's got a ring.
I know. He's flashed. I can see I can see him flashing it in my face.
He also had Dirk.
I feel like New York is the better matchup for the Celtics.
I would agree.
Because of who's out, the fact that they can't really score. And they have one real true scorer.
And he's a smaller guard, and the Celtics.
They have 3 guys who can defend him.
Exactly.
4. OG Anunoby coming back.
I mean, they've gotten games from everybody. That is the thing about the Knicks. DiVincenzo's gone off.
That's true.
They've had different guys just have big games. I'm trying. Hartenstein's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's been good.
But they shouldn't scare you.
They shouldn't. But that philosophy, though, that's the one. What they've been doing they have Precious Achiuwa has to start now, right? Josh Hart's okay, but he's done nothing for them.
He's a pain on the rebounds. He's an all-heart guy.
It's their bench.
Yeah.
It's Burks. It's McBride, who's come out of nowhere really recently. I just not a fan of them. Pacers, on the other hand, ton of scorers. Right? Halliburton, Miles Turner, Siakam's been there before. Obi Toppin off their bench. TJ McConnell's been really good. Thibodeau, Mazzulla.
I think that's fair just based on resumes and tenure alone. But I think I think Carlisle and Mazzulla are closer just because of the style. I know the Pacers play more up-tempo and don't shoot as many threes, but Thibodeau is a defensive coach. I don't think anyone's going to say Mazzulla, even though they had a great defense. I think when we think of Mazzulla ball, we think of their three-point shot, so you're going to get a clash of styles in that series.
Well, you see what's going on now in the Western Conference? Looks like Minnesota's about to even the series with Denver right now.
Force a Game 7, which is we want every series to go as long as possible. Let the Celtics just sit around.
What happened tonight? I haven't really been watching.
Minnesota jumped.
The defender, right? Jaden McDaniels. 21 points tonight. Gobert's 12 rebounds. And Karl Anthony Towns, 10, 13, and 5. Very interesting to see what's going on in that series. And we'll, as we await who the Celtics will play next. But when it comes to the Knicks and the Pacers, I think both of them will be difficult for the Celtics. I'm talking a 6-game series. I think the Celtics should win. But the Pacers, I'm a little bit more concerned about them against the Celtics with all their scores, especially off the bench. TJ in Manchester. Hey, TJ.
Hey, dude. I just think, like you're saying, Josh Hart is like nothing, and I don't agree with that. I mean, he's been putting in minutes. Like the Knicks are a good team; they're a little banged up, and I think you're discrediting them. I think if they were to make the Eastern Conference Finals, it would be a little bit of a challenge. You know, I don't think it would just be something to walk over.
Well, I didn't discredit them. I think that they would be the more difficult opponent. I think the Pacers are a more difficult opponent than New York. With Tatum and Brown until they win. Play with my food. Pizza party, Carvel ice cream cakes. We're here until midnight tonight. Whatever else, there's a ton on the. You know what? Let's get back to the old Patriots guy. You know what? Did the Red Sox win? Have we? Is it worth talking about the Red Sox? We'll think about that during the break here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
All right, we got Game 6 tomorrow night. Bruins-Panthers, and they may have Brad Marchand in the mix, who spoke to the media today. Game time tomorrow, 7 o'clock puck drop. 6:30 is the pregame show. Tonight, the Rangers take care of business. All right, back here 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Got Game 6 tomorrow night, Bruins and Panthers. The Rangers took care of business tonight, eliminating Carolina. And the Rangers fans, what were they chanting, Skaz?
That would be, "We want Boston."
We want Boston. Is that because they think Boston's going to win the series? Or because they're an easier opponent than Florida?
I think it's just a New York-Boston thing. They're not going to chant, "We want Florida."
Were Celtics fans last night chanting, "We"?
That I don't know. I know Knicks fans.
I heard other chants last night.
Yes.
I heard those ones.
You think Max Strus stuck around so he could watch his Panthers tomorrow night?
Nope.
No shot.
He's in Cancun.
And I will say, when I first saw that, I just saw the still picture, and I was like, whatever. He's a tool. Then I saw the video and saw it was a customized personal Max Strus jersey. What a tool. What a tool. That's even worse.
That's funny. I'm all choked up over here. That sandwich thing, really got people thrown off tonight. Like, what else is going on in Indiana?
The Pacers. Caitlin Clark.
By the way, not a political discussion here. Okay? Something's got to happen to Harrison Butker, right?
I guess the NFL released a statement today, like, distancing themselves.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I don't think, he's going to be suspended or anything like that, but the NFL did release a statement and was like, this guy's an idiot, basically, I think is what they said in not so many words.
This is what I was telling to Chris earlier. When you have cards, no kickers and no linemen.
Out on kickers.
Out on kickers. Who wants Chad Ryland as their card?
You.
Yeah, I won it in a break. I got the Patriots. All right, let's go. What do we got, Christian Gonzalez, something good. Chad Ryland.
Hey, you should be thanking Chad Ryland. Got you that number 3 pick with a couple missed kicks last year.
Yeah.
You have Nick Folk last year. You might be picking 5 or 6.
Know what I didn't show out of my personal collection here? It's a card that I think a lot of Patriots fans will be interested in soon enough. But it is one Drake May. PSA 9. First Bowman. Drake May. I have it right here. What do you think this bad boy is going to be worth? When do you think we'll see Drake May?
I know you have a prediction on that.
Oh, yeah, based off the schedule. I think Brissett loses in London. And then Drake May is the quarterback the following week. Now, normally you'd take a bye week to get somebody ready to go. And it's going to be interesting. Like, the topic for the Patriots this year will be, why are you going with Jacoby Brissett? Like, play the kid so we can learn now. But it sounds like everybody in the building is like, sit him a year, sit him a year, sit him a year. Once this dude starts throwing in preseason, you're going to want him. You don't want him throwing the ball. Anyways, we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We're waiting. All we're doing is waiting right now. Brad Marchand back in the mix tomorrow night. The Garden. Tomorrow would be a game, Skaz, where I'd probably want to go to. Do or die. End of the year. Like, it's going to be wild there. The return of Marchand. Like, Bad Blood.
I believe Jim Murray, when they were at Hurricanes last time, was asked the difference between the Celtics and the Bruins crowd, and he said, not a lot of eating with the Bruins crowd. So I would hope for more of that tomorrow night.
Yes, lots of drinking. I went to a Stanley Cup game. I went to Stanley Cup Game 6, by the way, versus Vancouver. And it was 95 degrees out, but everybody had a sweater. The vibe is different than a Celtics game, no doubt about it. No doubt about that. If I haven't been able to do this yet, I'd like to give a quick take on the David Andrews signing. I'm curious if David Andrews was considering retiring. He gets a bump to get $8 million fully guaranteed this year, and he deserves it. He was probably their best offensive lineman a year ago. But I'm curious if they gave him the bump this year because they need him. Maybe he was considering retiring. Like, what else does David Andrews need to prove in the NFL? So to get him back and help out the line this year, you guaranteed him $8 million. I don't think if he gets that money, he comes back. I don't think he was a lock to come back to the Patriots this year. I just don't. By the way, David Andrews looks like the logo of the Patriots. He just looks like the guy that would be the logo of the New England Patriots. 617-779-0985. We had Chris Costa in studio, the Fenway shows this weekend. Andrew's got some thoughts. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Joe.
What's up, buddy?
So going back to like the grading system, I've never graded a car myself. I have plenty, but PSA is like the top, obviously, number one. They have people on like eBay or YouTube, whatever, Twitter, cracking open SGS and Beckett ones that are graded, and then they're getting them regraded after that for PSA.
Yep, cracking. Yep.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, you know, the thing is this, it's the cost, right? So it's generally $25 to get a card graded from PSA. If it's over $150, you have to pay on top of that. But a lot of people do prefer PSA. SGC, I like. They're $15 for everything. Now, you got to pay a little bit more for an autograph, but Beckett's very good, too. I think they're about $23 to get one graded. My suggestion is this. Go to a local shop and let them send them out for you. They know how to get them right, prepared, send them out the right way. They'll get them back faster, and sometimes you get better grades because they see cards from those people. So, yeah, I've seen them cracked. I've seen an SGC 10 or SGC 8.5, whatever, get cracked. They send them out to PSA and get a 9 back. It's worth doing it. You're just really cracking a slab and sending it back out and spending $25. So, yeah, if you don't like your grade, crack it, send it back. Or send it to another one. Any other questions on that? Okay. We'll wrap this show up on the other side. I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. More Joe Murray.
before the game, and then I'll be on with you with Skaz post-game tomorrow night till midnight. So join us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. We also will await the winner of Game 6 between New York and the Pacers. And then we'll find out when that Eastern Conference Finals will start. Quick little note that I saw today regarding the Red Sox. They lost tonight. So the Rays ran out of mound visits. And that's one of the reasons why the Red Sox, well, I don't want to say they lost, but Alex Cora challenged that they ran out of visits, and it was true. So this is where baseball now is. The umpires or wherever, they ran out of mound visits. How do you get away with that? I didn't see it. It's one of the things about the game now that I don't follow. But I guess Alex Cora was upset tonight because the Rays ran out of mound visits. Shows how much we're all paying attention these days. Like we're talking about the Patriots' schedule instead of anything to do with the Red Sox. I don't want to crap all over the Sox. Like I'd like there to be some interesting ball. But they lost again. Well, they won last night, right? Can't even remember anymore.
And just to your point on the Red Sox, this from Steve Peralt. Kenley Jansen now has a 5.28 ERA at Fenway Park as the Red Sox closer.
Ooh, that's not good.
I would say that's bad.
They could have traded him before the season started. They chose to hold on to him, and then what did he do? He got into it with an official. He blamed the baseballs. Not a good year for Jansen, huh? Except for the fact he's climbing up the save ranks, though. All time. Somebody needed Edwards for 29.5 points. He finished with 27 with 8 minutes to go the rest of the game. That stinks. That's betting, everybody. So for all the people, Denver, nobody's going to beat Denver. Blah. I don't even think they scored 80 points tonight. So all those people, Denver's going to win. Will now be a Game 7 there. And we got Game 6 tomorrow night.